I've not reacted on stream to any of these, usually because by the time I actually get around to it, they've kind of gone stale and, the aftermath has sort of, run its course and, everyone's moved on. But Tyler Ordovera put out a new video, which apparently resulted in the banning of Powder's Twitch channel. We'll see if the same thing happens to mine. Of course, Powder's got a lot more following than I do, so we'll see. But the title of the video, I expose Texas's Indian invasion. Texas is not is no longer the majority white state that you may have seen in popular culture. Powder's Twitch got banned. Well, we say banned, suspended. She'll be back, probably after 7 days. Best of luck. Let's hope it survives, right? We'll see. Let's give it a go. 3, 2, 1.
This is Frisco, Texas, a once quiet farm town turned home to one of the largest and fastest growing Indian communities in America.
Where are you from?
Yeah, having known people who lived in these areas, and then they see groups of Indians and Middle Easterners popping up out of nowhere and playing cricket matches in public parks. A lot of these people were caught off guard, and some even called the police on them. And now, what were once lily white suburban communities in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they've been completely overrun. And not just Dallas-Fort Worth, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, all the big major metro areas in Texas, unfortunately, they have been absolutely overrun.
From India?
I'm from India.
South India.
I'm an H1B.
I'm into IT.
Motherland India or Texas, USA?
Obviously, motherland India.
Obviously.
Yeah, no loyalty, zero loyalty whatsoever to their new, what is supposed to be their new home country.
Obviously, motherland India.
As the Indian population exploded from 3%.
Yes, something else you notice, you go into the Costco's in Texas, completely overrun with Indians and Middle Easterners, but mostly Indians. Honestly, cricket is mild compared to the fireworks fights Muslims and Indians have in certain parks yet outside of the legal fireworks season. Looks like a bazaar. Yeah.
To 33% of the population since the year 2000, many Texans are outraged, declaring there has been an Indian invasion. But how are these Indians coming to Texas? And is Frisco the only town in Texas where Indians are seemingly spawning out of thin air? I pulled up to the Frisco Town Hall meeting to witness the clash of heritage Texans and their new Indian neighbors.
We need more or less H1B people here?
We need a lot less.
Why?
I got laid off 20 years ago. I worked in IT.
They all have to go
I have
back.
A master's degree. I was making over $100,000 a year. They said, you're too expensive, we're going to hire Indian. But I haven't been able to find a job in IT since, and it's really sad.
And you know what? I don't have another home in India. I don't have another home in Bangladesh. I don't have another home. I can't move to Somalia. I won't be able to live there. I'll die. This is my home. The devil would say, well, you're racist. That's racist. According to the devil's dictionary definition of the term, I am racist.
There's been a takeover.
No, it's now come to the point where that it doesn't have the effect that they're hoping that term would have on people. It's like, you're a racist. Okay, yeah, and as Powder would say, or simply, I really don't care, Margaret.
In Frisco of the Indian population and a lot of concerned citizens, and I'm leading the way asking questions. And I made this because corporations own Frisco. I'm a lifelong Texan turned T-Mobile whistleblower. I started talking about H-1B because T-Mobile uses H-1B to employ foreigners while they're laying off Americans right down the street. You know, the Indian population in Frisco has exploded 33% of the population over the past 20 years, a 4,510% increase. And you know, there might...
It used to be that Frisco and some of the surrounding towns, they started out long ago as these sleepy little farm and ranch towns. It was just farm and ranch land, far as the eye could see. Hardly anyone lived out there. And then around the 2000s, everyone just started pushing north, away from Dallas, away from Fort Worth, away from the area around the big international airport there. And then something happened where what was, a mostly, I would say, mostly white communities with some Hispanic. Just over the past, I don't know, 5-10 years or so, just exploded with Indians. And talked to people who had lived in those areas for most of their lives. And they're just like, yeah, at one point, one of them told me at one point we have seen more Teslas on the road being driven poorly by Indians. Seeing more of them cropping up in the public schools there. Seeing more of them going into the Costco. I think there's a Costco that's in Frisco. It's a big enough town that I think they've got one there. One person told me, yeah, you go into the Costco here in Frisco. It's like stepping into Mumbai. It's like stepping into an Indian bazaar. There's no white face as far as the eye could see. Guess Frisco got frisked by the government in the state of Texas. Yeah, all these big mega corporations that invested so heavily into the growth of Frisco, and then they turned right around, fucked over the community, and just started dumping H-1Bs from India. Hot take, don't think it's racist at all. These people are taking the jobs of the host nations, forcing their culture onto another country. Of course, people who are civilians of the host nation will be mad. Yes, they're coming in, building these gigantic monstrosities of Hindu temples to false gods. When before that, the only thing that would be popping up would be mega churches. And now some of the biggest religious structures in cities like Frisco are Hindu temples and mosques. They can't even drive a golf cart. No, Indians are shit drivers. No matter where you go, they are absolute shit drivers.
Might be a lot of people here that are coming here legally, but there also seems to be some red flags with the H-1B visa program, and the question is, are Indian people using that to bring people over?
So you're telling me
They are.
Frisco's turning into Little Mumbai at this rate?
That's what people like to call it these days.
I'm America first. I'm pro-American.
USA.
Yeah.
USA.
I think it's a good sign. People whoever has done the fraud, they should be brought to the justice. And I'm now
Please
running
don't
for
serious.
Justice of Peace in Texas.
Justice of Peace.
Yes.
What's your name?
Martin Padetti.
Martin Preti.
Yeah. I want everybody enjoy the life, but at the end of the day, we want to do it right.
My beef is
He's not going to do jack shit. I'm sorry, chat. He's not going to do anything. He's one of them, and in the end, race, ethnicity, and tribe always win out. End of the day, he is not going to rule against his own people. He stands to lose too much izzat from that sort of thing. He's going to get in. He's lying. He's going to get in there, and he's going to look the other way. Or if anything, he'll rubber stamp it so that more happens.
with the Indian people, it's with the system that are allowing them to do what we are experiencing here.
Is there sufficient talent in America? Do we need infinite H-1Bs, so to speak?
We do have enough talent in America. We strongly believe because the Americans landed on the moon when all of these H-1Bs even born.
To be fair, we did borrow a few Germans.
You see, we got a lot of natural citizens also became Americans, right? So they also getting laid off.
Do you think there should be a strong limitation on the number of H-1Bs?
I am advocate for the
1Bs?
limiting the H-1Bs. India is a great country.
And I wonder how he would define limiting H-1Bs. How many before it becomes too much? I suspect with a chap like this, that number's still relatively high. Too high for most people.
We respect pluralism, and most of Indians, they enjoy the American part of the American society. And I know you guys like the Indian food a lot too, right?
This is true. I do enjoy tikka masala.
Yeah.
If we turn away from God and the Word of God, if we worship these Indians, these Somalis, if we just give everything to them, willing to cut your own throat, we'll die.
H-1Bs are the scapegoats. The employers, those are the people who have to investigate it. Even in one of my friends.
How about this? We investigate, prosecute, and jail the employers, and we round up all the H-1Bs and send them all back. We can do two things at the same time. If we can put men on the moon, and if we can get them to do a once round the dark side of the moon and come back safely, I think we can do both at the same time. I think we can jail the employers, and we can also round up all the H-1Bs and send them back.
Like the Indian food a lot too, right?
This is true. I do enjoy tikka masala.
Yeah.
If we turn away from God and the Word of God, if we worship these Indians, these Somalis, if we just give everything to them, willing to cut your own throat, we'll die.
H-1Bs are the scapegoats. The employers, those are the people who have to investigate it. Even in one of my friends told in Dallas, You know, most of Indians, they'll follow the practice, the caste. If you're not in the same caste, they will let you go. It happened in Dallas.
So casteism is happening here in Texas.
Yes, absolutely.
I have my heart full.
Another reason that they are completely and totally incompatible. If you're bringing such an alien concept into American society, no, there's no place for you. You're not welcome here, and you have to go back. Simple as.
For all immigrant people, but man, we got to do it the right way.
I want to ask you, infinite legal immigration, though, will still alter the fabric of any place, right?
Correct.
Would you be a proponent of infinite legal immigration?
Don't understand it quite what you're saying, but yes, I mean, if it's done legal, if it's done the right way, yes, because...
No, that is also a backwards mentality. There has to be caps. There has to be caps. You cannot just flood a nation with foreigners, legal or illegal. You will completely alter the fabric of what it is. He's saying this because he is likely an immigrant himself. Legal or illegal, immaterial.
To what I've seen, countries have been blessed when immigration is involved. You know, when you got different kinds of groups involved, doing it the right way, following the rule of law. I think it's a good thing.
But if the law has allowed Frisco's Indian population to go from less than 2% to almost 20% Indian in the last 20 years, turning Frisco into a majority-minority city, is the intent of these work visas bringing Indians to America to support our labor force or to replace it altogether?
This is supposed to be, well, number one, this is supposed to be a Boy Scout troop. So, first problem I'm noticing is there's girls in a Boy Scout troop. Second, I count two white boys. The rest are all Indians. That's pathetic. When this country belongs to these two white boys, not to the rest of this lot here. The rest of this lot are stealing the birthright of this lad here and this lad here. And then you've got three girls invading a space in an organization that's supposed to be just for the lads. So two major injustices that are being committed here.
This is insurrection. This is the overthrow of the United States government, which is why 20 million people walked across that border. I can't go to Somalia and live, or Mexico. This is my home, America. The H-1B visas, we don't need them. We don't, not right now. Someday, but not now. And now...
No, you'll never really need them. And I'm sorry to break it to you, sir, but these people in the council, they don't really care what you have to say. To them, you are, even though you may have lived in Frisco your entire life, you are looked upon as an embarrassment to them. And you are looked upon as an inconvenience. And honestly, it would not surprise me if most or even all of these council members hate you and just want you to die. And the same goes for the rest of the native white population of Frisco. It's an awful idea to have infinite immigrants on so many levels, legal or not. USA is already massively in debt. Last thing we should be doing is paying for the nation's people. I'm cool with people who want to become Americans and adopt the culture, though. I don't think one can ever really fully adopt the culture. They can try, but I don't think you'll ever get 100% parity compared to what you would find with people who are born native in America.
Now, as of late 2025, T-Mobile USA opened a global technology hub in Hyderabad, India that employs thousands of Indians while they're laying off Texans and Americans. They've even sent Americans to go train these Indians in India. T-Mobile USA could have easily opened up this technology hub in the United States of America, and they could have ran it out of one of the two Frisco offices on Warren Parkway. On top of that, T-Mobile spent $81.5 million on salaries for H-1B employees in the United States in 2025. All salaries that could have went to Americans. Is it a coincidence that T-Mobile has a new Indian CEO as of November last year? Probably not.
We are the entrepreneurs, high-skilled professionals, fueling the tech and medical corridors that make our Collin County a national leader. In Frisco, you will find us serving in our churches, seeking peace in our temples, practicing charity at our mosques. We are guided by timeless wisdom that transcends borders.
Indian Americans play a crucial role in Frisco's growth. Many work in high-demand fields such as technology, healthcare,
they're not buying it, lad.
Finance, and entrepreneurship.
My name is Shri. My name is Ardav. My name is Siddharth. Hi, my name is Mathila. Hi,
Those are not Anglo-Saxon names. Those are foreign names.
My name is Anvika.
Indian Americans make up 1.6% of the population, but are
Bert Thakur, council member.
responsible for $200 billion in taxes, have the lowest crime rate, and over the last couple
And you watch yourself, Mr. Elad. You watch yourself. Actually, Elad. That doesn't sound like an Anglo-Saxon name. Thakur? Definitely not an Anglo-Saxon name. These two are the vanguard of a takeover. Pretty soon they're going to fill the entire city council of Frisco with people who look like them and share similar last names to them. And then they will make the city so incredibly hostile towards white people that they'll all move out. And they will proceed to turn Frisco from a bustling, thriving suburb of Dallas into a third world shithole. Because that's what these people do no matter where they go. Don't talk to me about how much money they invest into a community. Don't talk to me about how many jobs they create, which is only for their own people because they only hire their own. Everywhere these people go, they turn it into a third world shithole.
of years, we've seen some of the greatest polarizations in the history of America. People are upset. The American dream is alive and well here, and it's not because the streets are paved with gold, it's paved with the ingots of possibilities.
Every person in this room right now, their ancestors have come from a different country, a different continent. Despite these positive contributions, Indian Americans sometimes face discrimination or hate.
I urge the council and the residents to reject such a rhetoric that divides residents based on what or where they came from.
Now they're saying reject the rhetoric. Today, they're saying reject the rhetoric. Tomorrow, they will say criminalize the rhetoric and jail those who are saying it. You watch. That's exactly what's going to happen. They're flooding the zone, they're taking over, and then they are going to criminalize any sort of dissent or criticism of them. And they don't give a damn what the Constitution or the Bill of Rights says. They'll do it anyway. And if they won't do it overtly, they'll do it subtly. You'll find it's more difficult to do things like pay your taxes. And then all of a sudden you'll have a delinquency on your taxes. You'll find that the once quiet route that you take to and from work and home every day, all of a sudden police are following you and pulling you over and demanding to see your ID, and they're harassing you and subjecting you to pat-downs, and they're ticketing you for every little thing they can think of. Permits for your business suddenly getting denied mysteriously or without any sort of reason whatsoever. And just generally you find yourself slowly but surely your life being made more and more difficult until they finally just push you out, until you finally just get the message, sell your property at a loss, move out of your flat, and leave, just like they wanted.
Let me be clear here. There has been no credible evidence presented to any widespread H-1B visa fraud in this city. Today, many Indian families are living in fear. Replace it with reality. Unqualified Indian and Muslim workers scamming Americans out of jobs, stealing tax dollars, and destroying our nation in Texas. And the funniest part, if these were truly high-skilled Germans or Poles, we'd welcome the net positive. Instead, we get low-quality scammers with fake degrees, abusing our systems meant for generational Americans. And America is an idea. It lives in the hearts of all of...
America is not an idea, sir. It is an actual nation, and it is a people. The idea of a propositional nation is a myth. It is blood and soil. You may be on the soil, sir. You do not possess the blood. I possess more of a claim to the blood than you. And that's saying something.
Us, the 243,000 residents of Frisco, and I say this with love. Thank you all for being here.
He said America is an idea. Do you agree with that?
I think it's more than an idea. And I made sure that, he made a point that the Indian population in America is 1.6%. Well, in the city that he's running city council, it's 33%. So it's pretty obvious that there's a problem going on here.
Let's say we have infinite legal immigration. Is it better than illegal immigration?
It's funny because we've almost been tricked. We've been marketed this thing where we believe it is good to import people for jobs that we can't sufficiently do. We built the jobs. You're telling the people who built the jobs we can't do the jobs. Yeah. So it almost sounds like a scam. Well, they threaten them with
It is a scam. It is a scam because they don't want to pay people fair wages. because so many of these gigantic corporations, and even to a certain extent a lot of small businesses, are being run by a bunch of greedy bastards who don't want to pay a fair wage. It's like, look, if you can't afford to pay a fair wage, you either do the job yourself, or you don't need to be in business. Simple as. You either do the work yourself, or you just don't need to be in business. You need to manage your business better to where you can afford to pay people a fair wage. And if that means you as the business owner, or the people at the executive level going without, then that means you need to go without. You need to learn to make some sacrifices. Because it's not just about you. And it's not just about your bank account and your net worth. It's about something bigger than yourself. It's about the greater good. It's about your community. It's about being a part of a greater whole. Contreras, thank you for the follow.
And they hold that over their head because if they don't work a certain amount of hours, they won't sponsor them. So they can't threaten you with being able to go back home because your home is in America, like the United States, if you're an American citizen. So, and they can just work them to the bones.
So I headed into the heart of Frisco to speak to some of these elite H-1B engineers we've imported from India to save our economy from our unqualified, lazy American labor force.
There is the Karya Sidhu Hanuman Temple, the god of courage. Where are you from?
I'm from Andhra.
They're not unqualified. They're not lazy. It's just that businesses are being run by a bunch of greedy bastards that don't want to pay a fair wage.
Andhra Pradesh.
From Karnataka.
I'm from India.
South India.
Hyderabad? Are you from Hyderabad?
Yes, I am.
Really?
I'm from Chennai.
Are you here on like H-1B?
No, right now still I am my student visa.
I see, like
so
F1.
Yeah, yesterday the
Oh,
H1B result.
so taking up space in a university that would be filled by someone who's native to the area.
Got rolled out, so I'm just waiting for my decision.
Yeah, I'm on a film. Waiting for the same results.
Are you anxious right now?
Let's hope for the best.
I work in a software company.
Software?
Yeah.
And are you H-1B?
Yes.
So if I get my H1B, I can stay here for more 5 years.
What happens if you don't?
I still have my time, like almost 2 years from now.
2 more years.
So maybe I need to try for different visa, or else like go back to India then.
I'm on H1B.
H-1B. Did you come here as H-1B?
No, I studied here.
So F1, OPT, H-1B? Okay, it seems like that's the common pipeline. Come here as international student, get green card?
Then that was it. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what I did.
Have you seen the new wave of people from Telugu?
A lot of them, yeah.
A lot of them?
Yeah, lately, yeah.
How long you been in the States?
Around 10 years.
Are you on H-1B?
I graduated.
Okay.
And I'm working right now.
Okay. Are you like on F1 visa? I see. Why did you end up here in Frisco? Did you have friends and family here?
Yes.
Okay.
This is actually my uncle's.
Uncle's restaurant?
Yeah.
Your goal to go from
Ah,
F1
Nepo
OPT
baby.
to H-1B?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Motherland India or Texas, USA? You laughed at that one.
No, obviously motherland India.
Obviously.
Obviously, motherland.
Obviously. What an ungrateful lot. What an absolutely ungrateful lot. Even I have more gratitude than that. It's like, look here. My ancestors, my family hails from England and Scotland. But my home is America. America is where I live. And there's really no going back for me. Especially given everything that's going on in the UK now. But this is absolutely ridiculous. But it's also, I suppose, to be expected. But still, what appalling ingratitude. What absolutely appalling ingratitude.
Yeah.
My motherland is India because I'm born and brought there, grow here, and I'm here to serve the US. So I can say that the second land for me is US because I'm getting here. The US give me the respect, job, and the good opportunity.
I'm obviously.
Okay, he did a little bit
planning to
better.
Go back to India. So.
Your daughter, is she a citizen of the U.S.?
Yes, she is.
Okay, so you're going to bring her back to India one day?
Definitely, yes.
Whoa, that might be challenging for her.
Interesting. They don't even want to keep their children here in America. I think on some instinctual level, some primal level, they realize that wherever they go, they turn the place into a shithole. So it's like, if we're going to be in a shithole, let's go back to the OG shithole, and let's take everybody with us. Could see myself in no other country than Denmark. Grandparents have dug their graves here, already paid for them. I plan to do so also. I mean, as well you should, Harold. That's home for you.
Bad or Frisco, Texas more?
Hyderabad, of course.
Hyderabad, of course. Then I have to ask, why are you here in Frisco?
I had to. Feels like I'm still in my hometown.
Really?
Everybody from my hometown here.
Wow.
They exported whole towns over here. I was like, what's the point? You might as well just stay in Hyderabad.
So you moved all the way from Hyderabad, thousands.
But then I suppose you couldn't scam the system. You couldn't leech off of a new system, a new country, if you did that. Even though you should have just stayed where you're at.
Thousands of miles away. To Hyderabad in Texas. The India Bazaar is right there. I want to see if we can find some F1 students in this 7-Eleven. And secondly, I want to see the moment I walk in there if I will be met with an Indian cashier.
You probably will.
Hello, question for you.
Well, look at that.
F1? Are you an F1 student? No. Okay, are you H1B?
Yeah.
You're H1B?
Yeah.
Working here at 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you from?
India.
Shocking.
Where in India?
Andhra.
Angra.
Yeah.
Is that close to Hyderabad?
Yeah, I'm going to Parliament manage.
Okay.
So,
And do you work in IT?
yeah, I work in IT.
And he probably had to leave shortly afterwards. He's just like, I'm not going to answer any more questions. Because he got wise to what the game was here.
Yeah. I'm working with the Walmart here.
Okay.
It has its own problems, but if the USA goes even more south, would move to Japan, been thinking of learning the language more soon. I mean, if you're going to move to Japan, you might as well, Waka. You've got family there and you look Japanese. Might as well, but be prepared to be treated as an outsider, even though you speak the language and you look like them, because you don't really think like them. You've got certain Western sensibilities, and they will treat you as a gaijin. So prepare yourself for that. If you're comfortable with that, if you can make your peace with it, knowing that you'll never be fully accepted, even though you've got it in the blood, even though you'll eventually be able to speak the language, if you can make your peace with that, you can still do well. If anything, someone who has a different way of thinking, able to operate outside of those societal systems that are set up by Japan, there are some advantages to that. But just know, you will never be 100% accepted by them. And it's all due to the grey matter up in your head. I'm aware, understandably so. Well, good. Most people are not fully prepared for that when it happens. But it's coming. The Chinese call Chinese people from here Danish. They don't recognize them as their people. They consider them foreigners. Same is true for all the classmates I've had from Southeast Asia. Yeah. They're deemed just as foreign as any other Danish tourists, they told me. They'd never be the same as them, never more than a guest. Yeah. The Southeast Asians, they all tend to operate in a similar fashion like that. It's like you're either there and you stay there and you are fully integrated from birth, or you are the other. Very insular peoples.
As a software engineer. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm into IT. I work for a company.
IT?
Yeah, yes.
I knew it.
I do work for IT.
IT. Why do they dominate
IT. Because they have a master's degree in computer science. They study back in India.
Okay.
Most of them did not. Most of them are fake degrees. Your dad would always tell you about it when he goes to visit you. It's okay, they're respected in all honesty. Yeah, for some people, it can be a bit of a trauma. It can be quite a traumatic experience. And some people are never able to really cope. And so they always feel like a perpetual stranger or outsider. Like I said, there's advantages to working within that frame, but first you have to make your peace with it. And some people, they just can't bring themselves to make peace with that.
Complete engineering, and that's how they just dominate. I'm a student.
Student right now?
Yeah.
And you work in IT?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, are you F1 visa holder? So as an F1 visa, how many hours can you work per week?
40 hours.
And is it legal to work full-time on an F1 visa?
Yes.
That's a nice cheese string right
Is
there.
it though? I
Who
don't
would've
think
thought?
that's right.
Chicken tandoori pizza before GTA 6.
While Frisco has become Dallas's unofficial Little India, you can find H-1B Indian spawn points all the way up in small Texas towns like Argyle, Texas.
Okay, we're in a little Indian suburb near Denton. We're in
Yeah, so he's got it on a map here. This is Frisco, where they were just at. And then I believe this is Louisville Lake. Large. I think it started out as a much smaller, naturally occurring lake, and then I want to say it was an old CCC project from the Depression or maybe it was later than that they expanded Louisville Lake, made it a little bit bigger to contain more runoff water so that so many surrounding areas wouldn't flood so badly. But yeah, further west, and yeah, you are looking at about 45 minutes to an hour's drive with all the traffic and everything. Honestly, you should have just taken 380. It would have been faster. But yeah, further to the south over here on the southeast would be Dallas. Further southwest, Fort Worth. Denton, always been a bit of a university town with the University of North Texas. And lots of what used to be tiny little suburbs and farming towns and ranch towns in these parts that then just over the past 20, 30 years or so exploded in growth with people moving in. And yeah, Argyle, one of those that started out as small farming community, now blown up into a suburb. Oh, that's right. Okay. Louisville Lake was formed by the completion of the Louisville Dam in 1955, expanding the earlier 1920s era Lake Dallas into a 29,000 plus acre reservoir. So it was designed to contain floodwaters then. Yeah, looking at some of the old historical photos that I have of the area, because, you know, you try to study the history of places, and especially having been through here a few times myself, it's amazing how even parts of Fort Worth, even in the heart of like a downtown area, used to have really bad flooding problems long, long ago. You know, streets would just be turned into rivers. And then finally, they started building a lot of man-made lakes to contain that flood water, and started getting better sewage systems built out. Amazing what you can do with a little bit of civilization. But yeah, the old historical photos of areas like Dallas and Fort Worth, quite a fascinating journey through history, chat.
Argyle, Texas, lots of Indians. But how did they get here? And why are they in this small, semi-rural, suburban town? You gotta tell me, as a Pakistani, why are there so many Indians here?
I don't know. They come on IT.
Are a lot of F1s working here?
Yeah.
Yeah? Illegally, right?
Employ, thank you for the follow.
Illegally. I knew it.
They don't even pay right amount for these people, you know.
How much?
They work hours and hours. They pay low here.
They pay low here. Should I expose them?
What's he whispering about? He knows he's still on camera. He knows there's still a bloody microphone in front of him. And yeah, you'll never meet an Indian that doesn't try to cheat you out of a fair wage. It's in the nature. Do not redeem.
Hello, who's the manager here? Is there a manager here? Are you the manager? Are you the manager?
You have permission.
Yeah, I have permission. I'm here to ask you, are you paying F1 students illegal rates?
No students here.
No?
Everybody has a work.
You have paperwork?
Yes.
Yeah, you pay them legal rates? Are you sure?
Yes, sure.
Do you own the store?
I'm the manager, right?
What visa are you on?
I'm on a work visa.
On a work visa. H-1B?
I have a work visa. I don't want to reveal.
I was told on good authority there may be some F1 employees here being paid under the table illegal rates. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, this seems needlessly combative. And if you're going in on rumors, no, this footage right here, this is a bit clickbaity. This is a bit clickbaity here. Would have been a lot better, could have been handled a lot better if you actually had something in hand, some sort of evidence. This was a dumb move. This has been needlessly provocative.
Or false?
Sir, this is a busy time.
Is it true
so
or is it
we
false?
can talk outside.
Where are you from?
I'm from India. Hyderabad.
I'm from India, Hyderabad. I'm from Hyderabad.
Is it Hyderabad?
Yeah. In India.
Okay, Hyderabad?
In the same state, but in a different city.
What visa are you on? F1 student?
Yeah.
What do you study?
Computer science.
I'm on green card.
Do I need to specify that?
Yes, if you could. Oh, you don't want to? Why?
That's my wish.
I see. I imagine you're on not an F1 if you're working, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm a TN visa.
He's probably in the country illegally. Not in Texas, but in your field you got a graduate degree. Can't find jobs because they want to do it cheaper than me. I was going to say whitey, but then I remembered I'm not full white. It's grand clickbait. Well, I suppose so, but it does you no good. And not only that, these people are like such a collective hive mind. Word's going to get out that, he's gone on walkabouts in areas like this, and eventually trouble's going to come finding him. Because, they seem like the meek and mild types, but they're also capable of their fair share of violence and harassment. I mean, just see the amount of hate and harassment that he's been getting as of late with the videos on the poop throwing festival, the going into, what was it, that Jewish community in, where was it, New Jersey or something like that? That one, he lost his Patreon for that. And now you've got anyone who does live reacts to this video getting harassed by a swarm of Indians and bots because they all coordinate together, because any of this threatens their Izzat, when the reality is that Izzat was always illegitimate to begin with. Powder, yes. Powder's channel getting suspended because she dared to react to this video here. You saw that, Rex? I did. A flawed mentality, a very flawed mentality. But what do you expect from third world shitholders, right?
Okay, so your green card.
Yeah.
Would you prefer India or USA?
US is good. Why not
Okay.
US? That's why I'm here.
Is your wife here?
No, yes, here. But yeah,
Is she on? Is she also?
Oh,
on
look at the
visa?
time. He's got to go.
she's not. She's on the same green card with me.
Same green
Yeah.
card. And do you have kids?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes.
And are they here?
Yes, they are here. They're going to school.
Okay,
Everything is
so-
good. They're born and raised here. Everything is good.
Oh, born and raised here.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you working?
They might be born and raised there in Texas, but I mean, assuming he's not lying about that, but they're never going to be one with the community. They just never will.
Software.
Software engineer. Did you get a college education in India or the USA?
India. Yeah, I work in IT.
IT. Why are Indians so good at
Of course he
software
did.
engineering?
That takes a lot of math,
Brain power?
physics.
I came here on F1, but then I converted.
They're not even all that smart. Most of them have got room temperature IQs. None of these people are the best and brightest in the world. If that were true, they wouldn't be in America. They'd be over in India, making that place into less of a shithole. But they're not. These are people who just saw a racket or a scam and got in on it and glommed on it en masse. That's all this is. It's just opportunism on a civilizational scale. But Rexworth, have you had the holy Ganges river water? No, and never will. Because that water is nothing more than raw sewage. And I don't drink raw sewage. I don't even drink water out of the tap. Not unless it's been put through a heavy purifier. I mean, and there's another thing. If they've got all of these IT people and engineers and scientists and medical doctors and everything like that, why is it that it's not safe to drink the water in India? If they're all so bloody smart, how is it they can't fix their own drinking water? Riddle me that, Batman. Why can't they even fix the bloody tap water? Yeah, doctors and engineered, registered trademark, copyright, all rights reserved.
To H1. And
So
I'm
you
on-
came on F1 and then graduated to H1?
Yeah.
How hard was that process?
It was cool actually.
I'm from Canada.
Yeah. If it involved any sort of effort like that, they wouldn't do it. If it was really quite difficult, they wouldn't do it. They'd go find some other racket or some other scam to glom onto.
Canada.
Yeah.
So you came from India to Canada to Texas.
Yes.
Most people who come here on an F1 have the intention to get an H1?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that's fraudulent?
No.
No.
Because it is.
Of course.
valid
Of
that-
course she would say something like that. Of course she wouldn't think something like that. Now, it's like asking a bank robber, don't you know that what you're doing is wrong? which they're aware, but their ego won't allow them to admit that. Or even if they do admit it, it's always with some sort of yes, but. Indians are just about smart enough to perform menial labor adequately, not well. About 15 Indians to the job of one white man in engineering or tech with numerous flaws, but they're not smart enough to organize revolts, etc. So perfect slave class, yeah. It's just a cheap underclass for big business on the right side of the Uniparty, and cheap votes for the left side of the Uniparty, or leftists who are masquerading as right-wingers.
You can convert from H1 to H1. That is the reason most of the people come here.
But isn't F1 just for people who are coming here to study and not to work?
Yes.
So do you think it's a bit of a fraud to come here to study and then end up...
People go back too.
Did you go back before you got the H1?
No.
Okay, so you came here on F1.
Yes.
And now you're...
TN.
Are they getting paid legal minimum wage in Texas?
Here no F1 students working.
No
Here
F1 students?
These all have work permit. We have all work
On
permit
OPT?
students.
F1, H1B, O1?
I have a work authorization.
I know you
My
do.
employers have all work authorizations.
So you're not employing any F1 students? On the record, yes or no?
No.
You promise me?
Yes.
You would swear to God?
Yes.
Swear on your mother's name?
Why you are asking like that questions?
Obviously, the H1B is a
Oh,
non-immigrant.
shit's about to go
When
down.
will you be going back to India?
We are thinking to go soon, but we are not sure what
Okay.
date.
And how have you liked it?
Yeah, they extract whatever they can from their host country, and then they bug out back to India. It's so bloody typical. Leeches, the lot of them. Yeah, either way, the Uniparty wins, yeah. And the rest of us, the regular working man and woman, we all get the shaft. I always say this, Chad, of all the cities that I've been to, still one of the most beautiful skylines. Next to, say, I don't know, Tokyo, maybe Hong Kong. One of the most beautiful American skylines, we'll put it that way. Still belongs to Dallas. Full stop. I have yet to see another major American city that even comes close. I think there's a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's just, especially as you get closer to the downtown area, like where these two skyscrapers are, there just seems to be such a symmetry to where everything just sort of crests at, this used to be known as the Bank of America Tower. I don't know what it's called now. And then it just slopes back down. But yeah, still one of the best and most beautiful skylines in all of America.
Texas thus far?
It's good. I like US. I like India more. That is the reason I'm trying to go back. Basically, at the end of the day,
You can go back now if you want. In fact, you should, if that's your thinking. Just go back. Just go back. Me, I actually love living in America. I love the freedoms that I can't even enjoy now in the UK. I love the lifestyle. And yeah, I mean, as American as it might make me sound, I love the freedoms. You really can't get those anywhere else. It's still a great place to live, despite all the flaws, despite all the problems. I don't know how much longer it's going to stay that way, but I know this. America needs more people like myself and others who love it so much that they say, yeah, we place America as number one, and we're going to live here, make our home here. This lot here, the United States is not number one to them. They actually have that backwards mentality that the shithole they came from, India, is somehow number one. Well, you know what? If that's the attitude, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Go back to whatever it is you came from. Let those who actually enjoy living here and actually want to make a good go of it, let them stay. People like her, you're not needed. You're not needed. If that's the attitude, get out. What disgusting ingratitude. She says as she holds one of the latest iPhones and drives one of the latest and most expensive electric cars from Tesla. Not because it's, you know, any sort of good car, though it is decent, but just because, you know, it's a fashion symbol. And as she wears designer jewelry round her neck and on her ears.
our family is important, right? Our family is in India, so we need to go back to India.
I see. Are you married here?
Yep.
Is he also on H1B?
Yes.
So 2 H1Bs, and do you guys have children?
Yes.
Were they born and raised here?
Yes.
Do your children have Indian citizenship as well?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah.
I told you, right? If you want records, you come with the legal, okay? I can show all my...
He can record whatever he likes. It's called freedom of the press, mate. Something which you have no concept of. You start talking to people about permits, you might as well be talking to a bloody brick wall.
employee information with the date.
Let's see.
I don't want to.
Okay, you're going to show me the paperwork or what?
Who? For me?
Me.
No, you don't have to right to come inside. Okay?
I just did.
You can just out.
Why don't you just show me the paperwork and I'll be on my way? Do you illegally pay F1 students, yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine, I hope not.
Yeah.
Hi, man. When I asked him to swear in his mother's name, he postured up. I thought he was going to throw down. I thought I was going to get punched for the first time in my life by an Indian. So this is a meme right now. Please be patient, student driver. This is a kind of a joke, a meme online because there's so many of them. Are you a student driver?
No, I'm not.
Why do you have the student driver sticker?
No, why are you taking video?
We're doing a survey for people.
Why are you being so defensive? Also, why so many nicks on your car?
People that have student driver stickers.
I'm not a student.
Do you have a student driver in your family?
Before I am a student driver, so I kept it. I forgot to remove it.
Oh, I see. So now what it really should read is, please be patient, I'm retarded.
How old are you?
30.
I have a sticker which I put it inside.
I mean, there's plenty of people in their 30s who are university students, so that I don't know what argument they're trying to make there.
You have a student driver sticker?
That's for my girlfriend, so.
Come on. So your girlfriend has a student driver sticker?
And she has a student driver license.
Is your girlfriend a little girl?
No.
How old is she?
She's about 30. She just started driving. She wouldn't drive, learning to drive.
I see. Did she know how to drive in
badly,
India?
I'm sure.
I see. So it's a difficult translation over here?
Yeah, it's left to right and all that. So probably she did her course.
That is not as difficult as difficult as you might think. I've handled both left-hand and right-hand drive cars, and yeah, if you're a shit driver, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time with that. But most people who are even halfway decent drivers, it's not going to be an issue. It's just not. So what a ridiculous thing to say. He's basically admitting that his girlfriend's retarded.
Weeks ago.
Okay. It looks a little scammy almost.
Sure, yeah. Now I know that's a great thing. I'll remove that.
Is that your sticker?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
They might as well just be putting on their bumper, please be patient, I'm retarded.
Are you a student driver?
No.
Why do you have that sticker?
My kid sometimes tries that.
I see. But if so many of these highly specialized H-1B Indians first came to America...
then it becomes a clout thing, doesn't it? Or it becomes a way of them getting out of being found at fault for an accident, which inevitably these people get into because they're shit drivers overall. Hope you all have a great weekend. Greatly appreciate you always being authentic and speak your mind. Well, thank you, Waka. Appreciate the lurkies. Remember telling my mother she was in the wrong gear 20-something years ago. Why? Because she was. Yeah, heaven help these people if they have to drive a manual transmission.
America to study at our colleges and then stayed here until they got an H-1B visa to work, then why exactly aren't American students educated in the same schools qualified to work the jobs we've been...
Because the system incentivizes bringing these people over. There's so many tax credits and so much free government money that is handed out for this sort of thing. So, of course, the native population, those spots in universities will be taken away. Of course, those jobs are going to be taken away from them.
Told we need these Indians for. Are Indians somehow vastly more overqualified than every other nationality on the planet and therefore receive 70% of America's H-1B visas? I met up with Mavash Siddiqui, a U.S. Foreign Service officer with 21 years of experience in national security and...
I'm sorry, the headscarf, I automatically don't trust her.
Foreign policy, who worked as a visa officer at the U.S.
Taxpayer money, possibly. No, there's no possibility about it. That's exactly what's happening.
In India to understand.
These people are the new welfare queens. They are just absolute leeches. And they are bleeding not just America, but all of Western civilization dry.
Dan, what's going on here?
I'm not representing the U.S. government. I'm not representing any other entity.
Then why are you with the U.S. Foreign Service? And why are you an officer with the US Foreign Service? If that's not the case, then what the fuck are you even doing here?
It is just me, myself, and I speaking from my personal experience as a consular officer in India, which was 20 years ago. So an H-1B visa is a guest worker visa. It's a temporary status visa. You abide by the laws of the United States as a non-immigrant, and then your permanent residence needs to be in India, so you have to return back. When I served in India, my job was initially to basically focus on what is known as non-immigrant visas, that it is a travel document which is meant for temporary visitors. What I saw in terms of industrialized fraud was there was systemic corruption and fraud happening because everybody and their mother wanted to go to the United States. In that jurisdiction of Chennai, we were mainly seeing a lot of fraud patterns come from Telangana, the Telugu community, and really
Fake varsity. MBA Grads University issued forged diploma, degree, and post-graduation certificates to hundreds since 2019. You can't even trust the diplomas, but even the transcripts from these universities. Anybody can print out a diploma on fancy paper. You know, it's the transcripts that provide the real proof, but even those can be forged. Even those can be made up out of whole cloth.
ravenous hunger amongst the 16 to 45 years of age people to basically use the visa loophole in order to
Over 100,000 fake degree certificates seized. 100,000. That's that's an entire graduating class for some university systems in America.
to cut the line and actually emigrate to the US. So the intent was to come to the US, work here, find an avaricious lawyer, go to the Department of Homeland Security, you change your status from like a visitor visa to a permanent residence. This hunger and craving that I saw created this systemic, massive ecosystem of fraud. For instance, when I went as part of the fraud management unit to this place called Hyderabad, there is a huge back
Hyderabad. We've heard that name several times before, haven't we, chat? Lot of people running around there in Frisco and Argyle, Texas, claiming to be from Hyderabad and from neighboring towns in the area. How interesting. How interesting that she should bring up the name Hyderabad.
industry called Amirpet. There's a visa industry where you have storefronts after storefronts.
Good God. I mean, they might as well just be putting up signs, all of them just saying scam. Every single one of them. Scam shop.
Focused on basically creating fraudulent documents. A lot of F1 students, I'll give you an example.
This is just unreal. This is absolutely unreal. This is madness. That's more than triple the amount that graduate annually here in Denmark from the university system. Here last year, it was the highest in 6 years. There was only 73,376 graduates. Yeah, that 100,000, that's like a small suburb in America. That is, oh my God. Seriously, the whole thing just needs to be nuked from orbit. Poster world, it's littering at the highest, yeah.
Basically creating fraudulent documents. A lot of F1 students, I'll give you an example. You know, there were 400 of them and they all had the same bank documents, but they had the guts to present these documents, which basically were fake transcripts.
And I'll bet they didn't even bother to like change up the account numbers or the routing numbers or anything. It was just carbon copy of the same documents, brazenly being presented to them. It's almost like, yes, we are scamming you. What are you going to do about it?
Fake bank statements, and also, you know, fake degree certificates or high school diplomas, etc. So it was industrialized in the sense there were factories, and they also had these storefronts saying green card would be possible within 6 months, kind of thing. Like, you know, we were just like so overwhelmed that there was this pressure to issue, right?
Yeah, they're flooding the zone, hoping that you will just rubber stamp and not ask too many questions because you want to get the queue down.
Where was this pressure coming from?
The U.S. Embassy in Delhi had obviously a political appointee ambassador. This is during the George W. Bush days. And then we had obviously the consul general. But there were politicians who were pressuring, whether from the South India arena or from Delhi itself, saying, you need to issue visas in order to make a better, stronger bilateral relationship happen. Even if that individual is not qualified. At one point, we had this ludicrous pressure to say, if that person is not a terrorist, go ahead and issue thing. And so we started the system in Chennai to revoke H-1B visas where we saw a lot of fraud happen. The United States spits out 150,000 people a year. Amongst 800,000 students, you have 100,000 who've gone through this rigorous computer science coursework, and then they're told they don't have an opportunity to work in our industry, but then you have
because they want cheaper foreigners.
H-1Bs come in with just a Microsoft certification. Some even had the guts to present us with graphic designing, which is very different from taking C, C++, assembly language, SQL, third degree calculus. That's very different. So it's just interesting how we had a very hard time revoking these, because it's not like a simple revocation. It's a bit of a uphill battle for...
I mean, you can just do things. You can revoke it and then just make up the reasons later. Plenty of other bureaucrats have done that. You can just do things.
A public servant or a consular officer to revoke those, where the burden of proof falls on me. After a long, grueling day of interviewing 200 people, you have a stack of these H-1B revocations that you have to type up and send to the Department of Homeland Security and say, this is why we suspect fraud, which means, you're providing pictures and documents and a narrative and et cetera, et cetera. We don't have that luxury of time. So I saw the cracks.
Make the time. Too much is at stake here. You need to make the time. That's no excuse. And if need be, if these people who are perpetuating the fraud are making shit up, then you need to be making shit up as well. Come up with whatever reason you want. I doubt anyone in the bureaucracy really cares, as long as they're able to tick off the boxes.
And I warned people. Are these H-1B visa holders superior to Americans in every way imaginable? Absolutely not in screaming letters, NOT.
You would be amazed how many of these people get into America with forged, non-existent university degrees and other credentials, and they get into some sort of job being hired by one of their own, and then they proceed to take a portion of the high salary, which should have gone to an American worker, and then they just pay someone back in the old country to do the work for them that actually does know what they're doing. They're not sending their best. India is not sending their best because they don't have their best. They don't really exist.
So that's the halo effect that they have benefited from, essentially because of, the Indian lobby. Everyone's benefiting in this whole system, right? There's kickbacks that everyone gets.
It's a racket.
The visa back.
It's a gigantic racket.
People have created this narrative. It's almost like information operations against the United States, right? Where we are somehow inferior to the labor supply in India. And I say India because 70% of the H-1Bs are coming from India. Exactly, right? And there is a visa category that they could leverage called the O1 visa, if they were indeed those, super geeks or very smart people. But these are not exemplary individuals. These are run-of-the-mill people. But when they come here...
These are room temperature IQ people. These are idiots. They are just stupid brown hordes. They're just idiotic hordes of brown people that are just engaged in a mass invasion and a mass leeching off of their host country before sucking it dry and going back to the shitholes they came from. That's all this is. It is all just a giant scam. And you and I are being forced to pay for it. with our taxes.
Between the 16 to 45 years of age, and the ones who have basically taken the F1 visa route, and then they get sashayed into the OPT program, and then they get preferential treatment by the Silicon Valley managers and the various IT industry managers who are basically get seated in the H-1B managerial role. They would prefer their own Indian people, because it's not about necessarily, because the Indians are the best and the brightest. Bribery is quite normalized. The sad part is I saw...
Yes, she speaks the truth with that. These people bribe each other like you wouldn't believe. Someone I knew used to work in hospitality. Rather shitty rundown hotel, owned and operated by an Indian family. And rather than bring the property up to code the way it's supposed to be, according to the fire code, they instead tried to bribe the fire inspector, because to them they felt it was cheaper than actually having to make the improvements to the property. And then lo and behold, that property caught fire, and one of the annexes burned down. Did they rebuild it? No, of course not. That would have cost them money. And Indians absolutely hate spending money on anything. No, they just bulldozed the rest of it to the ground, and turned the foundation of the building into tennis courts. Now, mind you, this is like maybe a 2-star property, business class hotel. The type of clientele that stay there, mostly holiday goers, mostly lower and middle class holiday goers. Not a whole lot of people going there for business, and certainly not people who are going there to play tennis or cricket or squash or even pickleball. But it was cheaper than actually rebuilding the annex. They also hate working. They see it as a form of submission, humiliation. Yeah, this is a scam-based culture that is constantly trying to get something for nothing. And they see honest laborers, people truly working their craft, they see them as fools. When really the fools are they. They are the real fools. But then again, look at their fruits. Look at what's happened to their country. It's a shithole. A literal shithole. The streets are filthy and filled with garbage because they see working as a form of, they see hard work as a form of humiliation. And so they can't be bothered to clean up their own streets. Maintaining safe, drinkable water in their water supply, that's hard work. They see that as a form of submission, humiliation. So you can't drink the water in India. You will die if you do that. It's always for someone else to take care of, someone else in the lower caste, someone else in the slave class to take care of that. Only thing is, even the lower castes, they can't be bothered to do that either, because they've got the same mentality. But, oh, that's a job for the lower class. That's a job for the lower caste. That's too humiliating for me. When most of us white people in the Western world, we look at all of that and say, that's honest labor. That's propping up civilization. That's keeping the machine running. That's making sure that you, your children, your grandchildren, your relatives, your friends, your neighbors, all have safe drinking water, all have clean water to bathe in, that they all have potable water to cook the food with. Indians see it as something beneath them. We see it as one of the crown jewels of civilization and necessary to our way of life. They dip in and run away because they don't want to partake in today's society and want to spoil the endeavors. Yeah. They just want to take. They just want to leech. They just want to behave like bloodsuckers. The Persian empires that expanded into India quickly withdrew from those conquests. Their records are very telling of how disgusted they were with the mentality of the locals, even in pre-Islamic times. I mean, that's really telling when they're just like, no, we can't even as Persians be bothered to conquer you Indians. You're not even worth our time with that. We're going back. The Muslims in their neighboring countries themselves, though, are not much better. They've got the same poisonous mentalities in Bangladesh and Pakistan. Yeah, it really is very much the same mentality. Can confirm from all of my time speaking with academics and people who went on missionary trips to places like Bangladesh. Very much a lot of the same problems, same mentality. And Pakis are just irredeemable in my eyes. There's no hope for them.
A lot of H-1Bs as well as J-1s, especially physicians and others who have bought their seats into medical school, and you have 40% percentile on your score sheet. You're basically
millions of students at risk. India's elite exams hit by corruption scam. More than 3 million aspirants took India's top tests for medical and research schools. The future is now uncertain amid paper leaks, arrests, and growing demands for the re-examination. So someone got in, leaked all the answers, leaked old papers and old submissions, and then everybody started scamming their way through the exams. Cheating and scamming. That's all these people know how to do.
an F student, but you can get ahead. That sort of stuff does not jive with our values. Our values are very different. Any minority American would have a worse chance to get into any of these big IT companies because the value system is different, where, you know, the H-1B manager would expect that these people that he's bringing in, whether he or she are bringing in, the idea is to get a cut from their salaries. It's almost like a pyramid scheme. It's like a kickback scheme. It's like pay skimming, for instance. So nice quid pro quo system, and everyone's happy. No one outs the other. And that basically the IT manager does know that if he or she gets outed, then this person will lose their job. So it's kind of like an honor among thieves. So today I don't know what things look like, but I'm aware, you know.
Honor among thieves until someone gets a bigger payoff to blow the lid off the whole system, with the hope that they don't have enough of a long-term time preference. Basically, you can short-circuit the system and cause a cascade effect where it all just comes tumbling down. You just have to find the weak link and offer a bit more, but offer such an outrageous amount of money that someone, somewhere within the whole pyramid scheme, blows the lid off of it and just sends the whole thing crashing down. But they've got to be stupid and greedy enough to fall for that.
From a lot of my colleagues who are currently working, that fraud has ballooned. So then you.
India's fake degrees. Hundreds in Singapore, Malaysia, US, Canada left questioning qualifications after Manav Bharti University scandal. Private university in Himachal Pradesh state sold 36,000 degrees for as little as $1,362 each, according to an Indian government agency investigation. Graduates of the institution are now being pressured by employers around the world to prove that their qualifications are genuine. They're not. They're not. Honestly, I would not trust any university in India. None of them. It's just, if you have a climate where things like this are going on, and at a scale that is just so widespread, you can't trust any of them. I mean, even with grade inflation in American universities, you can't even trust that these days. It reminds me in high school, administration in their left-wing idealism wanted to help villagers in Africa, encouraged everyone to donate. Very next year, they told you they ended the project, and the place had burned down, and initially they'd been distraught to learn this and wanted to aid them as immediately as they could, until they learned from the locals why it had burned down. The locals had destroyed everything themselves they'd been given, burned down the houses and schools built with the money because they believed that they could get them to spend more. Yeah, it's why I don't donate any sort of money to those sorts of third world causes, because so many of those people have that scam artist strip mining mentality of all they see are just wealthy foreigners that they can get more money out of. So At that point, you know what? Let it rot. Let them rot. Let them live in their own squalor. Let them drown within their own backwaters. Leave them to their own devices. Pray that they figured it out, but be prepared to accept the strong possibility and the strong likelihood that they'll never learn, that they'll never grow beyond where they're at now.
Have like religious workers being invited on an H-1B. You have accountants being invited on an H-1B. These are not special.
It was very comedic for us. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, it is so laughable, but also it is quite pathetic, and it just goes to show you concepts like foreign aid, we just need to bring an end to them. Scrap them. Leave these people to their own devices. I mean, the entire idea of mass migration is really just, it's a form of foreign aid. And officially, we're being told a lot of just bullshit reasons of you know, oh, they're coming here for a better life and, you know, trying to escape oppression in their home countries and blah, blah, blah. And no, it's just, it is a sort of pressure release valve for a lot of these countries to keep them from exploding into civil unrest. It's like, no, cap the pressure cooker. Let it explode. Let these people sort it out amongst themselves. And if it results in them just massacring each other, so be it. If that's all they know how to do is just kill each other, so be it. They're either going to learn to evolve beyond the savagery, or they're just going to descend in further savagery. Either way, up to them, not our problem. And our so-called leaders and their infinite wisdom need to stop making it our problem.
Specialized skills. Teachers being invited. Our colleges and universities create these wonderful, best and brightest computer scientists and computer programmers and engineers. After a 4-year college degree, we go through rigorous training. That holistic training that happens in the United States far supersedes what you find amongst the H-1B clout.
And out of all the 50,000 plus visa applications, how many of those were legitimate?
There were, I mean, easily between 70 to 80%. That was my denial rate.
Wow.
And we created that gold rush.
70, hang on.
70 to 80
patients. How many? And out of all the 50,000 plus visa applications,
50,
how many of those were legitimate?
There were, I mean, easily between 70 to 80%. That
Okay, so let's do some sums here. Let's do the maths. 50,000 times 0.7. That means 35,000 on the conservative side were denied on suspicion of being scams out of 50,000. That at some point, if you are rejecting 70 to 80% of the visa applications, you might as well just reject the whole lot of them. This is the thing, we don't owe them anything. We should be focusing on our nation. It sounds nice on paper, all in for helping others, but they're not our problem. No, they're not our problem. We've got our own problems to contend with that are far greater than this. Like, I don't know, getting national debts under control. Stopping scams like this that cost the taxpayers billions upon billions of dollars, even trillions. Stopping wars that only seem to benefit one particular country in the Middle East or the military-industrial complex. And somewhere in there, making sure that water and sewer systems continue to function, highway and public transport systems continue to operate normally and are maintained properly, making sure that everyone has clean drinking water, figuring out some way to provide affordable health care to the population, and maybe, just maybe, making sure that our pension systems remain solvent for future generations beyond the baby boomers. I mean, I know it's asking a lot these days, but, you know, a lot of this kind of bedrock items of civilization. Essentials are key in today's society, can't handle a lot of the country's problems. No, we've got enough of our own problems to contend with. We don't need to be importing massive hordes of problem children. And that's putting it mildly.
was my denial rate, and we created that gold rush.
One example of how H-1B Indians are used to suppress American wages, it all starts with this guy who needs some more cheap labor. To avoid the headache and cost of hiring an American, he outsources the job to an IT staffing company.
Then we need to make it less of a headache to hire Americans. But no matter what, you need to be hiring members of the native local population.
IT staffing company claims to have an army of high-skilled H-1Bs to fulfill the contract, all at a cheaper cost. And most of the time, these IT staffing companies will rent an office like the empty ones you're about to see, put that address on their H-1B's employees' paperwork, basically telling the government, don't worry, here's the office where he'll be working. But the reality is, the IT staffing company won't use that office for anything, and will send the H-1B employee directly to the client's worksite. The client gets cheaper labor without the responsibility of sponsoring the H-1B. The H-1B makes great money compared to what they'd make in India. They can work towards getting a green card in the US, and most importantly, they don't have to live in India. All while the IT staffing company collects the spread between what they underpay their H-1B employee and what the client pays them. It's a win-win-win for everyone but the American worker.
India number one. Number one.
Now let's go investigate these American workers.
India number one.
This is literally what they're bringing over. This is literally what they're bringing over. This is footage from an earlier video that Tyler Oliveira did, where he went to a gigantic poop throwing festival in India. These are the sorts of people that are being brought over to America and other places in the West.
Now let's go investigate these genius Indian IT staffing companies littered all over Texas. But real quick, I just made $100 by playing games on my phone. And no, it can actually earn 0.8 and start
Skipping over the sponsor. I'm sorry, Tyler, but we're not interested.
Crypto or even thanks free cash. Back to the video. There is a single company, Qubits Tech Systems LLC, with 8 LCAs, all from this residential home. Bunch of software developers here making $51 an hour. Yeah, this
$51 an hour. That's about as much as what, I mean, there's some entry-level accountants and attorneys that make that much. That is good money. I mean, you're making $51 an hour working, let's do some sums here, $51 an hour, fairly standard 40-hour work week. That's over $2,000 a week. 52 weeks in a year, not counting for, taking days off, holidays. Sorry about that, chat. Yeah, so that's over $2,000 a week. Times 52 weeks in a year. In a calendar year, that is over $100,000 US, or about, more precisely, $106,080 US before taxes. I don't know how much in terms of taxes they'd take out, but you're probably still going to be making somewhere around maybe 80 to 90 grand in take home. Or, even worst case scenario, probably 75, which is still a respectable salary in terms of take home pay. So we're told that they're able to do this sort of thing for cheaper, and yet here they are being brought into America, and they're being paid $52 an hour, probably working well beyond the 40-hour work week, so probably making far more than $106,080 a year. Yet, they're wanting to tell us that American workers are lazy and entitled, and they want too much money. And yet here they are paying $52 an hour to Indian H-1Bs. Make it make sense for me, chat. Make it make sense beyond this is a giant scam that is screwing over the American worker. Make it make sense for me, chat, because I can't seem to make sense of this. The maths are not mathing. The sums are not summing. Whoever gave them that hourly paycheck plays patty cake with their folks, gloating like a madman. Yeah, they're laughing as they rob us all blind. And they aren't even working from their office. They stay at home. Yeah, even worse. A lot of these are work from home positions. This is a massive scam. And we, the taxpayer, are paying the price for this with a country that's just been brought to ruin by leeches and bloodsuckers.
Seems legit.
Hi there, worksite inspection.
Hey, who is this?
Hi there, this is Tyler. I'm here to conduct a worksite inspection. Am I speaking to Hari Madiraju?
Okay. That could get you into a lot of trouble. I mean, he's not overtly saying he's a government official, but if he were, impersonating a government official is a crime. This is an unnecessary risk. And I'm just speaking in terms of, going back to my journalism days. You don't do this. No. That was a mistake. If anything, he should have found someone who worked with the government who was, good luck with that. But this, you're wading into dangerous waters, lad.
It's not.
Huh? Sorry, you cut off there.
So I am not at home, so what is this? I am in the office. Who is this speaking?
Is there another work site that you're working from?
Yeah, 4425 West Airport.
West Airport? Okay, so there's no one working from the residential address here?
West Airport Freeway. I think they're still supposed to be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so West Airport Freeway, that would have put them on State Highway 183. It was either 183 or State Highway 121, somewhere near Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is the address that he's giving, if I remember right.
Why do they work for where is your home?
Excuse me?
Where is your home? Do you live in your home or do you live in your toilet or somewhere?
No, I don't live in my toilet, sir.
Oh,
so
you want to be a wise ass about it.
State that this is the address. Is that not the case?
No.
So you don't
go to my workspace. Are you from government?
No, I'm not from the government. I'm conducting an independent investigation.
Wise answer. If he answered in the other direction, then he would be committing a crime.
Government.
Yes.
Work right now. I don't have any people, but you can go to the workplace and work there.
All right. We'll take a look at your office. Thank you. Some attitude. Yeah. But why would this guy file?
There's some chutzpah with these people. There's some absolute chutzpah. And it's because we have been tolerating it and allowing them to get away with it to the point now where they're getting cocky and they now have the attitude of, yes, I'm scamming you. What are you going to do about it? You won't do shit.
8 LCAs with the worksite listed as his residential home. So we went to his office only to find a collaborative worksite and his completely empty unit.
Qubits Tech Systems, Suite 137.
One in their office. Hari Madiraju finessed us. Let's give him a phone call.
Please leave your message for 2.
Of course it goes to voicemail.
You son of a bitch.
And strangely enough, many of
He really is a son of a bitch, whoever that person is. Huge houses, rich pockets, arrogant fools, yeah. I mean, it will continue to work until it doesn't. And then they will find some other scam to go run into the ground. $8,700 is the American minimum wage per year in dollars before taxes, assuming 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, 4 weeks a month, 12 months a year.
ghost offices were...
I mean, and look at these. These are rather posh offices that they're in.
You son of a bitch.
And strangely enough, many...
I mean, look at this. You've got, fancy mid-century modern furniture. It looks like they've got a putting green in the middle of this shared office space. This is probably not cheap to rent every month.
These ghost offices were often clustered in the same locations, starting with V4 Tech.
Prosper, Texas, a town that really does live up to the name. Average income for the residents starts in the 6 figures. They're also a very landlocked community, very small. very elite. You live in some place like Prosper, Texas, you are more than likely a very wealthy person.
V4 Tech, very official. Okay, take a look inside. We see some sort of Eastern monk-like.
I mean, we're talking most of the homes there, probably 10, 20 years ago, would have been somewhere between $500,000 to $750,000. Today, in today's market, $1 million plus, maybe 1.5, 2 million, maybe even as high as 5 million for a home in Prosper.
Statue right there. We have an empty little meeting room in the back here. It's almost like no one's here.
Who would pay thousands of dollars a month?
These sorts of shared office spaces. Oftentimes, they don't even lock you into a long-term lease. They become quite ubiquitous. A Buddha with alcoholic wipes, pocket-sized office. What do they mean by this?
Month to rent an office with no signs of human life, locked during work hours in the middle of the work week with no employees in sight.
Hi, question for you. Do you know where they're at? Your neighbors?
No idea.
No idea? Okay, thanks so much.
It costs money to rent this place, and it's during business hours during the week.
It's a ghost.
Yeah, and in some place like Prosper, Texas, even these offices, they don't come cheap. They really don't.
Office, a shell. They have paper compliance. They have the physical location. They can register their H-1Bs to, and then they can send them off to go work elsewhere. So V4 Tech Inc. completely empty. They should be here. Someone should be here. 420. This is going to be a good one.
V4 Tech, it's probably a fake company too. Not like V1 Tech, which has fantastic artwork and customized computer cases. They used to make their own PCs. I don't think they do that anymore. But fantastic company. Also based out of Dallas, Fort Worth. Yeah, absolutely fantastic company. V1 Tech. If you fancy yourself a new computer case with some pretty cool artwork, and you like what people can do these days with LEDs and whatnot, V1 Tech. Check them out.
And there were more ghost offices all over this complex.
The workers exported to India, the people brought to America are just there to be workers on paper. In reality, they're likely management and their families, probably. Yeah, and like they were saying earlier, just a pyramid scheme where they take the wages, divvy them up amongst themselves. The real work gets done by people towards the bottom of the pyramid. Or they're upper management or maybe even middle management given the quantity. Yeah, probably.
We got no sign on this one. Hello? Hello?
Wait for 20.
They ever show up here? Yeah. I just want to ask you, do you guys actually have neighbors? Does anyone ever show up?
That's a great question.
It's a good question, right?
It is a good question, isn't it? And judging by that response, nobody ever shows up.
Great question. Why are you asking this question?
Because we're convinced that this is a body shop. They have paper compliance, and no one actually works out of here.
And he's that look on his face. It's just like they figured it out, didn't they? They figured it out. It is a body shop. Oh, V4. Oh, you looked up V4 Tech on LinkedIn, did you, Harold? Their LinkedIn says they have 11 to 50 employees. Never seen such a difference before.
There's like 9 separate units in this business complex. No one's here. These ghost offices. I'm ready. Yeah.
Is that on?
It's on. We're ready.
We're rolling.
He is thinking correctly. You are thinking correctly.
NG Talent Tech Group LLC, based in this office, filed 23 LCAs, and there wasn't a soul in their unit. Everything was empty.
Hello? Hello?
You'd think they'd just gone to lunch or something. No. It's a body shop. Empty rented office space that is a speck of dust on the map. It's more than just a speck of dust, Dobo. This particular city that they're in, Prosper, Texas, it is valuable real estate. So these rented offices cannot come cheap. Someone's probably trying to do a tax write-off or something. Or, maybe business is just that good that they can afford a rather posh office in a city in Dallas-Fort Worth that has some of the highest average incomes in the area, if not in the country. Damn, Harold, you're weaponizing your autism here. Looking at the listed owners' names, cross-referencing with social media, most of them are marked in India most of the year. And some of them reappear in some of their associate companies' leaderships list and employee list on LinkedIn. I'm not even joking. I think we won't put their names up on the chat there, Harold. But I'm certain you're not even in joking. This is, like I said, this is weaponized autism. But I appreciate your thoroughness. You might want to lend your talents to people like Tyler Oliveira here, because that sort of show prep and research is quite valuable in his line of work. Oh, sorry. No, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, in a way, they deserve to have the names out there. It's just probably more for my protection than anything. We won't keep them up on the screen there for very long. I may end up editing that out when I go to post this on YouTube and Rumble. But, you know, then again, public information, people can go find that if they want to. You've certainly found it. But, yeah.
Knock, knock. This one didn't even have a sign on the door.
Talenton Technologies claims to have 6 H-1Bs. No one's here. In-office presence on the following days. Tuesday and Friday, 9
a.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, standard banker's hours. Alternative Wednesday, so every other Wednesday, also 9 to 5. Operating on a hybrid model. This is almost COVID-era things that we're looking at here.
9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Where were our elite Indian engineers and programmers holding the American economy on their shoulders?
We have DevApps IT. This is the best looking one thus far. We have 11 H-1Bs.
They actually have legitimate signage. It looks like something they actually spent money on. Quite uncharacteristic for Indians.
No one's here. Hello.
A few company examples like Tech Deeds has LinkedIn descriptions that sound ChatGPT generated. They probably are. If it looks or sounds like it was written by ChatGPT, it probably is.
So, hey, do you know if your neighbor's here?
I have to see anybody over there now.
An actual legitimate business, Advanced Sports Therapy.
Think they might be running a body shop.
Oh, right here in Frisco?
Yeah.
I get it.
What do you...
Oh, this is over in Frisco. I thought they were in Prosper. I mean, they're both next door to each other on the map, so yeah.
Think?
I wouldn't be surprised. Last time I saw somebody here was probably 4 months ago.
4 months ago?
4 months since he's seen a body come in or out of one of these body shop offices over here. That's suspicious. You go 4 months without seeing a soul go in or out. I mean, it's logical that one would think, well, maybe the lease was up and they moved out. No. V4 Tech's website is genetic corporate slop. Yeah, probably it's just to appear legitimate, but it's not a legitimate business.
That's crazy. Were they Indians?
Yeah.
They appear to be body
of course
shops.
they were.
Basically, all I'm asking is, are there revolving doors of empty office complexes with a bunch of
And
Indians?
there's revolving people.
Revolving people, different people.
We're in this unit here.
A revolving door of offices, business fronts, and people.
Okay.
The one next to us.
Okay.
People show up about every...
So you see a new group of people coming in and out of there?
And most of the time it's empty.
It's empty.
Like probably 11 months out of the year.
If you found out there were
Good
10
God.
body shops running out of this complex, what would your thoughts be?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
It just, the way that things are here in America right now, it just it wouldn't surprise me.
It's like they're the ones that are offering to pay the rents, and the landlords are just rubber stamping it, not even really bothering to question, is this a legitimate business that is setting up in the space that I own? Because a lot of these people who own a lot of the companies, and I mean, let's face it, a lot of private equity also owns these office parks. A lot of these office parks are mortgaged. A lot of them are on mortgages that are oftentimes refinanced every 5 or so years. So they've got a mortgage note to pay every month. And so that means that they can't really afford to be very choosy. And especially in some place like Frisco, these office parks that we're seeing here, these are easily multi-million-dollar properties. If I had to guess a rough valuation of what the price was on the transaction. So we're talking easily 5-figure, possibly even 6-figure monthly mortgage payments. So you really can't afford to be too choosy, especially in a business and commercial real estate climate post-pandemic, where a lot of people have realized, yeah, you don't really need a physical office anymore to operate a business. Little wonder then that you see mass numbers of body shops for H-1B scams just filling up the space. A Frisco location owned by Hayes Office Park. Interesting. Revolving door of obscured blurs, yeah.
You think we're cooked?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. It doesn't seem like Abbott really cares that much. Like, he's probably getting paid himself, so.
He's talking about this chap here, the current sitting Texas governor, Greg Abbott. A man who is supposed to be a conservative Republican. He has been bought and paid for quite extensively by the Indian lobby and by big business.
Our whole government's cooked.
But to my surprise, we finally found an office with an Indian inside. But the sign they had hanging in their office listed a
ESG, Executive Software Guild Incorporated.
different company than what they had filed under.
Currently going through Hayes County Building and Contents Schedule to try and find how much they specifically pay. I'm curious, but just, I don't know, be careful, Harold.
Is this Grand IT LLC? You guys work here?
Yeah.
This is a body shop?
No, it's IT service.
Are you guys
That's something that a body shop would say, wouldn't it? Yeah.
a staffing company?
Yeah, IT staff.
Sweet. What's your name?
Sachin.
Sachin?
You
Tyler.
just
Good to
work
meet you.
there.
Tyler, what's the name of this
Yeah, you just, I don't believe
Grand
you.
IT LLC, right?
Grand IT LLC, and this is one more.
Wait, what's this?
Software Guild. It's
So
IT
you
staff.
guys share offices or what?
No, they had to switch over to a new corporate front, and they were just too much of a lot of cheap ass bastards. They didn't want to pay for the new sign.
No. Like.
So are you guys Grand IT or Executive
Both.
Software?
We are both companies.
Both, okay. And you're not a scammer.
Oh, no.
Who was Executive Software Guild Inc. and who is this Prada-dripped Indian? Where were the other employees?
What do we got? We got a
I bet that's a fake shirt. I bet it's fake.
brand new TV right here.
Do we honestly think they would spend that much money on a Prada t-shirt? Also, I don't think Prada makes t-shirts, though I could be wrong. A lot of the big name fashion houses have had quite a fall these days and just make absolute trash fast fashion.
Yeah, it's a brand new TV.
Don't wait for opportunity, create it. Dream big, work hard, be positive, be kind, keep smiling, stay humble.
It's like a regular meeting.
Brand new telly, and they didn't even they can't even be bothered to take the plastic wrap off. They just plop it down there. It's like, all right, we're a real business now because we've got a large flat screen TV that we can all stare at and make it look like we're in Zoom conference.
Area.
Okay. And how many people work here?
6 people.
Okay. What are their names?
Where are they? If you've got 6 people working in the office, so where are they? They can't all be out to lunch.
I mean, we have multiple people changing. We have.
Let's see here. Oh, look at that. Got himself a little Kroger key fob. Looks like a leather keychain. Fairly standard kit. And to what do our wondering eyes appear but it looks like the smart key to a Land Rover. Now, how could he possibly... Well, I think we know why. We just saw why with the $51 an hour. It's like, still, one wonders how he's made enough money to afford himself a nice new Land Rover.
Vishnu, we have Madhavi, we have Hari. They are
And what's all that there?
working directly from the client area.
And tell me some of the clients where the H-1Bs get staffed at? Are we talking like Verizon, like Deloitte? Who do we got?
We work for multiple clients. We work for USAA. We also work for Verizon.
It's not USAA, it's USAA. That a bank and a life insurance company for military veterans. Which one of the companies that very publicly said, yeah, fuck American workers, we're going to be hiring a bunch of H-1Bs. So, fuck USAA. Especially if you're a member chart, don't do business with the USAA. If that's how they treat American workers, one can only imagine how horrible customer service has declined with the USAA. That's awful. Don't bank with the USAA, and don't have your investments with them. Don't buy life insurance from them, because if they're willing to fuck over the American worker like this, they're probably willing to do the same thing to American military veterans. Don't do business with them. And also, don't do business with Verizon if you can help it. USAA had a beatdown of being less humble with themselves. Yeah, I guess so.
So I gotta ask, why would anyone print out LCAs and pin them on the wall?
I mean, if someone like a...
Yeah, why are you doing that, mate?
Show them directly. If they come for any verification of the candidate,
yeah,
we can show them, yeah, we are doing the certification or...
Yeah, but to pin it on the wall, that's odd. Usually you just keep it in a binder and put it in a file cabinet somewhere. Or, stored it digitally on the cloud.
And we have software developer. We have... Who's this guy? What does he do?
Vishnu.
Do we actually have... Good Lord. They actually have information of these people. Vishnu Goody, job title, President. Address, Preston Road, Suite 1040, Prosper, Texas. Well, it makes sense. Preston Road does run through Prosper, Texas. Software developer. Who is this? Grand IT LLC. Okay, that's what they were referring to earlier. And it looks like same address on Preston Road in Prosper, Texas. Strange, though, that Mr. Goody would list a business address rather than a home address for a labor condition application for non-immigrant workers. I don't know, maybe not. Seems like that'd be the sort of thing you'd put your home address on, and not an office address. Prada does sell t-shirts, can't find the one he's wearing though. Might be discontinued, but it could just be fake. I know the school I went to as a kid got in trouble for having a list of kids' names with their parents' phone numbers and names in the bathroom. Yeah. Weird that they'd put this all up here. And, I mean, this isn't like a license or a building permit that oftentimes, like with a lot of businesses in America, you have to have something like a local certificate of occupation. It's usually issued by the city or the town that the office or place of business is located in. And you hang it up on the wall near the main entrance somewhere to show, it's safe for occupancy by customers and by employees. This is an application. This is just an application that's been printed out and pinned to the wall. And yeah, that is really weird. That is really weird what we're looking at. This isn't even some sort of permit or license. It's just an application. But they pin it to the wall as though it's supposed to lend some sort of legitimacy.
He's the owner of the company.
Okay, he owns the company.
Yeah.
Okay, we got another sort of empty office set up here, and I like that quote, if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't change you. It's a good point. So why is it the Maryland
labor law? This office is not located in Maryland. It's located in Texas, so you've got the wrong labor laws posted. Fairly certain that's a violation of some kind.
labor law postings up there?
Labor law...
It's like
you have no explanation, do you?
Compensation in Maryland. That's what I'm trying.
Yeah, this is you got the wrong laws put up, mate. Something else that kind of makes this seem like it's a scam.
To figure out. All the Maryland paperwork right here. I don't know. I mean, I'm just asking questions, yeah.
We work for the Maryland state as well.
I see. So you guys
Okay, but your office is not in Maryland, so you don't need to be posting that. You need to be posting Texas law. I'm fairly certain that's a violation of some sort, chat, but I'm not 100% on that.
like, you guys do CPA for Maryland? Yeah. Like, oh, you guys do like accounting too?
Yeah, accounting too.
That makes sense. And you're
No,
not
you know,
lying to me?
I don't believe you. I think you're lying. I think you're lying. I don't think there's any sort of accounting work that that goes on in these offices. I think you're just putting these up to make it look legitimate, and you did a piss poor job, and you're getting called out on the fact that this isn't adding up.
You're not lying to me?
No.
Okay, all right.
That's the reason we have posted all these.
I see. I would just think you would post like Texas labor law and postings, you know, because we're in Texas.
That are easy to get your hands on.
But I don't know.
You can you can order them on Amazon. You can get them from what office supply store still remains. Or you can just go to the state government website and order a copy, or even have it printed out. It's really a lot easier than you think. This is again with the room temperature IQ, thinking they're so clever, but getting lazy and cutting corners on their own scam. They do have a second office registered in Silver Spring, Maryland. I see.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
And why was there freshly unboxed furniture and appliances?
Brand new Panasonic branded inverter microwave oven. I haven't even peeled the labels off. Haven't even set the clock on the display. Probably never will, because they're that fucking lazy, and they consider things like that beneath them. And the minute they suspect anything wrong with it because they can't properly operate a modern microwave oven, they'll just chuck it away and buy a new one when it's still perfectly functioning microwave oven.
Scattered throughout the most.
And what's this I see in the
Why
background?
was there freshly unboxed furniture and appliances?
Kirkland's Signature Nut Bars. So, Kirkland's Signature being a Costco brand, items which you could only acquire if you had a Costco membership. That tracks. That tracks.
Appliances scattered throughout the mostly empty office. Not to mention, why was this on?
It looked like there were cookies on top of the microwave. Looked like they might have come from a Kroger bakery or from a grocery store bakery, from somewhere in the area. That tracks.
Wall. On our way out, I couldn't help but notice this six-figure luxury car in
No, there's his Land Rover.
parking lot.
Actually, it's a Range Rover.
I gotta ask him. One last thing. Is this your Range Rover? My man, don't be humble. Give us a quick whip tour. This thing's badass. See, that's proof of the American dream right there.
Gift from his mum. So his mum bought him a Land Rover, or a Range Rover in this case, and gave it to him because Indians are just that loaded. I wonder how they get such an expensive Costco pass. I know, like, the executive level membership is what, $120, $125 a year. Mummy's boy, yeah. No, especially with that rounded jawline, yeah. This bloke hasn't worked an honest day in his life. You can tell.
The American dream's real, right?
Yeah. The IT staffing business was clearly.
That's a six-figure car, chat. This Range Rover here, this is a very expensive SUV. Easily over 100 grand. Especially if you want the bells and whistles on it.
Profitable. So we went to another cluster of suspected ghost off.
65 to 130 per year for Costco, depends on the level, yeah. Oh, that's right, yeah, the entry-level membership is, yeah, they've gone up in price, haven't they? I remember when it used to be about $50.
Offices.
Okay, so we have Slusha IT Inc. right there.
Okay, so where are they at now?
Cluster of suspected ghost staffing business was clearly profitable. So we went to another.
So they're still in Prosper. It almost looks like an office off the Dallas North Tollway, which, if you know anything about Prosper and Frisco in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, chat, Dallas North Tollway runs right through them. Nothing but high-end real estate on all sides, all the way through. Found his Prada Milano t-shirt. It's the cheapest one in black at $870. Jesus. You sure it's not 87? Then again, it's Prada. Got to be a fake, though. It's got to be a fake.
Cluster of suspected ghost offices.
Okay, so, I mean, what sort of idiot would pay $870 for a bloody T-shirt? That would be the most disgusting nouveau riche behavior.
We have Slesha IT Inc. right there. There's a guy inside. Hi there.
Lesha? Almost sounds like slushy. Sounds like something you would. Sounds like a frozen drink you get at a convenience store.
Are you
a
working
petrol
on behalf
stop.
of Slesha IT? Yes. Okay, hi there. My name's Tyler. We're conducting a workplace inspection.
Look at this posh office. Look at that marble floor. Looks like hardwood in there. These chairs look like they're made by Herman Miller or someone. It's like glass top, conference table, floor to ceiling, glass paneling. This is a high-end office chart. People pay good money for these sorts of offices. I've worked in offices like this before. This is primo real estate that we're looking at.
Okay. Are the other 4 engineers that work here present?
And look at that. He's taken a whole bloody conference room and just turned it into a workstation. And he's got the deer in the headlights look. Look at him. How pathetic.
Place inspection? Okay. Are the other 4 engineers that work here present today? Where are they?
Where are they?
Oh, in each room?
Okay, well, let's go say hello to them.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. How are you doing today? Okay, and who is this?
Yeah, here's another top tip for Tyler and his crew. Hide the cameras. Hide the cameras. If people see that there are cameras and they're being filmed, you're not really going to be able to catch them in the act. They need to get better at the use of hidden cameras. You know, button cams, that sort of thing. Cameras in the glasses. They just don't make it obvious that you're filming. They don't even have a proper cable setup. They don't even have a concept of what a proper cable setup is. And even if they did, they would look at that and say, no, that's too much money. Do not redeem. We're not doing that. You know, use one of those button cameras that are hidden in your shirt. Exactly. Cover for money laundering. More than likely, yeah, that is what's going on here. On a massive scale.
Hi. This appeared to finally be the first company.
Okay, and who is this? Hi.
Another bloke in a conference room, supposed to be doing IT work, and he's working off of probably the smallest Apple MacBook that I've ever seen. I'm fairly certain a lot of IT people, they don't really use Apple products, and if they do, they prefer to use the MacBook Pros. Just a guess, though. Not an expert on that sort of thing.
Be the first company with actual H-1B Indians on site working on their laptops.
Okay, no, hang on.
First company with actual H-1B Indians on site.
Now, his setup looks a bit more legit. This looks like a more legitimate setup with, you know, webcam and proper widescreen display. Looks like a printer, maybe an all-in-one right next to him. This has a bit more of a legitimate look to it.
Working on their laptops.
Though,
Be the first company with actual H-1B Indians on site.
notice something else, chat. Surveillance camera in the top corner of this office. I find that very interesting. Dude looks like some ordinary gamers.
Working on their laptops as you might have hoped. While they are replacing American workers, I guess at the very least they're real.
Oh dear. Chat, don't be fooled. This is not Nazi iconography. This is a Buddhist swastika.
Are you allowed to be in here?
You guys let me in.
Yeah, you're the idiots that left the door open. What are you talking about? Are we allowed to be in here? You don't want people in here? Lock your bloody doors. Was that the funny windmill? The traditional Hindu one? Or is it Buddhist? I forget. Doesn't matter.
He did.
Yeah. You're the ones that left the bloody door open.
But you told some workplace inspection, right?
Yeah, I'm conducting a workplace investigation.
You're
on behalf
from
of
News,
owners.
right?
Correct.
Then
Yeah.
how are you inside a private?
They walked in. you can just do things.
Just knocked on the door and you guys let me in.
Yeah.
And we would like you to go on.
And I'm headed out.
Easy enough. Kaido Kanojo, thank you so much for the raid. Raiders, welcome in. If it's your first time here, I'm Lord Rexworth. I'm an English nobleman VTuber. And we're watching the video that apparently got Powder's Twitch channel suspended. I'm actually curious to see if the same thing will happen to my Twitch channel. We shall see. I'm a lot smaller than Powder, so maybe nobody will even notice. Who knows? But how was your stream? How was your stream? Let me get you some shout-outs here over on the Twitch side of things. Everyone make sure that you go follow Kaido Kanojo. Give them all of your support. A lovely streamer, talking about the news. In fact, that's his specialty, is just chatting about the news. A lot of the same things that we discuss. And in fact, she and I have collabed and done some talking about the news ourselves, and got a few more videos that are going to be posted to the YouTube channel here soon of our conversations with on various items. Thank you for redeeming the hello there, Harold. Went well, but it's crazy hot in my room now. Oh dear. Going to have to open up a window, get the fans going, turn that AC all the way down. I do shout out the other way there. But yes, everybody make sure you go follow Kaido Kanojo. But yeah, raiders, if you need a raid and run, totally understand. Otherwise, please do exercise the usual after-stream care. Get up and stretch, grab something to eat, something to drink. Cool off from all the hot and stuffy air probably being cranked out by your PC there, working overtime. And yeah, kick back, relax as we enjoy the forbidden video that apparently got Powder's Twitch channel in such hot water. And definitely go check out Kaido's streams. One of the few VTubers out there that kind of works the morning shift. So if you're looking for a good breakfast program to watch on Twitch, Kick, or Rumble, go check out Kaido Kanojo's streams. Why did it get her in hot water? Because the Indians are a rather thin-skinned sort of people and saw her streams as a threat to their izzat, which is a bullshit concept anyway, and probably just swarmed and bot attacked her Twitch page till it got suspended.
1300 West Walnut Hill Lane, Irving, Texas. Let's go.
Irving, Texas. That is in the heart of things. That is like smack dab in the middle of Dallas-Fort Worth, if my geography is correct.
Finding an Indian in an office was like
Oh, Kalergi, thank you for the watch streak. 3 streams, well done.
needle in a haystack. Most of the
Banana
time, my knocks
LLC.
were met with silence and a locked door. The American economy seemed faker to me by the second.
No one's here at either of the Pamela locations.
Margins for these IT staffing companies must have been enormous. To rent offices purely to achieve compliance on paper for the labor condition applications they needed for their H-1B armies.
Yeah, they're either empty or they knew he was coming. Because these people, they love to gossip amongst themselves in encrypted chats on, like, WhatsApp. Which is probably how they coordinated the attack on Powder's channel to get her suspended. This might sound racist, but at least when the Chinese do money laundering, their restaurants and takeaway are nice. Yeah, at least with the Chinese, you get a succulent Chinese meal out of the deal. The Indians, they don't even bother to give you a plate of chicken tikka masala. You can't even get that out of them. That's how bloody cheap they are. It's like the old adage goes, you can get rich by being cheap. The problem is, you're still cheap. And no one likes a rich cheapskate. No one. Robert Greene said it in his book, be generous and lavish with your money and keep it circulating. Because generosity is a sign and a magnet for power. And they can't even be bothered to do that. Nah, it's fine. Please, by all means, be racist. Everyone's a little bit racist sometimes. Doesn't mean we go around committing hate crimes. Orange chicken is scrumptious. Chicken pate is chicken in a stick with peanut sauce, which is bland. Yeah, I've never really seen the appeal of Indian food. Never liked it myself. Give me a succulent Chinese meal anytime. Roof panels are loose, as can be seen in the top corner. Yes, they are. Good catch there. This is probably an older, especially judging by the weird patterns on the walls. This is an older building. These details may have been fashionable at one point in an office that was built sometime in the 70s or 80s. Not really, not anymore.
6 in-office LCAs. If you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
There should be 6 LCAs in that office.
And then I finally
one
found
office
another
alone.
Indian whose story painted an even bleaker vision of the future.
How many H-1Bs do we have in office today?
Right now we don't have any.
We don't have any?
Actually closing the company.
None.
You're closing the company?
Yes.
Okay, so you have
Closing
the
it.
LCAs on the wile here.
How interesting. Doesn't like counterfeit duck. He wants the real deal. Actually, not a big fan of duck. I've had Peking duck before. Wasn't impressed. Love dumplings. I do too. Dumplings are delicious.
You guys are going out of business?
Yes.
The door looks like it was hastily repainted and a little too thickly. Yeah, probably. They probably didn't even strip off the old paint job and just sprayed on a new layer.
I'm sorry to hear.
So
Okay.
basically, this is what happened, right? So
Yeah.
So what's
You guys are going
happening?
out of business?
Yes.
I'm
They're
sorry.
going
to hear.
out of business.
So
Okay.
basically, this is what happened, right? So
Yeah.
basically, we were in the business for almost 10 years.
Okay.
We filed all the H1s, but later on, like because of this AI and everything,
Yeah.
so we kind of, wrapping it up, everything, and then.
You see, part of me is skeptical. Part of me is thinking he's just making it up. Part of me is thinking that he's thinking that if he just makes up a story about how AI is forcing them out of business, Tyler and his crew will go away, and they can just keep going about, they can just keep the scam going.
Kind of, closing off.
His entire H-1B staffing company imported from India was now obsolete as AI became increasingly advanced. As Americans were replaced by Indians, the Indians were beginning to be replaced by AI.
There is this misconception.
I just don't know if I believe you. I think what we're seeing here is, Chart, is just AI being used for cover for more H-1Bs to come in and steal jobs from the native population.
Misconception that all the H1 guys are they are taking the jobs.
Yeah.
The thing what I wanted to explain is that these are not full-time jobs, right? So they are on a specialized skills. Only then they have those jobs and get it. But if you ask me,
Also claiming that they're not full-time jobs. Again, I just don't believe you. Yeah, if you believe them, we've got a floating bridge to sell you. Oh dear, Contreras, you thought you could get away with spamming on Kick like that? Yeah, no, we're not having that. And because of that, I am now going to remove your balls and cast you into the Phantom Zone. There you go. Get in the crystal, you cunt. Why do they have a sofa with cup holders? Probably something they bought secondhand, or probably furniture they brought in from someone's house that they probably either bought secondhand or picked up from a garage sale, or, just picked it up off the side of the road. Wait, isn't one of the requirements to stay in the US to have a full-time job to support you? I believe so, yes. I believe so, Pumpman. And yet here he is prattling on about how it's all part-time jobs with them. Ah, yes, I see what you're talking about, Derber. Pink blanket as well. Looks like a sissy sleeps in it, probably. But then again, they're not the most masculine lot, are they? It's all so tiresome, it is.
is there an abuse? Probably I would say yes, but...
Oh, there's no probably about it, mate. There is abuse going on, and you are probably part of that abuse.
Then if you take the percentage of it, might be very less.
Oh, it's happening, but it's not that bad. Then later on, it's happening, and it's a good thing. And then after that, you're a bad person if you don't support this thing that's happening.
And definitely what I would say is probably USCIS investigating all the things they have to do, all the paperwork and everything good.
Countless offices were husks of their former
Oh,
self.
it's USCIS's job to investigate. It's not our job to do the right thing. We're just poor little entrepreneurs trying to eke out a living. Leave the scam artist, phony corporations, and illegitimate business fronts alone. Next question for the Indians. What's your opinion on women's rights? I don't really care their opinion on women's rights. We all know women's rights were a mistake. On an H-1B visa, you must maintain employment with your sponsoring employer, hold a specialty occupation role requiring a bachelor's degree or higher, and maintain a valid Form I-797 approval notice and I-94 status. Maximum stay is usually 6 years, typically valid for 3-year increments, though extensions do exist. Yeah, most people just see those requirements as like, yeah, not doing that. And the government didn't do a bloody thing about it.
Perhaps the IT gold rush was over.
I don't think so.
Worksite inspection.
With signs still on the wall.
Okay.
Wait, what's the name of this place? Anand Pag Incorporated, Suite 111.
On the wall.
Okay. Come on in.
The paperwork on file led us on a wild goose chase.
Doors unlocked.
Not a single piece of furniture here. The sign on.
This screams inside the back rooms. This is the nightmare fuel that horror video games are made of. There's a 60-day grace period after losing a job where you can get an extension of leave willingly. Most people just overstay. Most people just stay and hope they never get found out.
On the door, empty room, empty everything. Do the lights even work? Are they paying electricity? They are. We'll confirm at the front
Juice is
desk
still
if
on.
Anyone's renting this out. How are you doing? We're conducting a worksite inspection for Anand Pag Inc. Are they paying rent currently with you guys?
They've moved out like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and the lights are still on. Strange how that works. Then again, it might be some sort of central electricity thing. They keep the lights on just because it would be too hard to cut the electricity to one particular office suite. So that could be it. But yeah, still showing up in the system there. And property management or leasing office is saying, oh yeah, those people? Yeah, they moved out 2 years ago, didn't they?
Are they paying rent currently with you guys?
They've moved out like 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Each ghost office left us with even more questions than we had initially. Where was USCIS verifying that these work sites were in fact legit and that these H-1B Indians weren't locked up in a basement somewhere being forced to code C++?
52 LCAs, 3 companies, 1 suite.
And nobody's going to be there.
Hi there. Is Synaptic and Cohash still in Suite 100?
Yes, they are.
Okay, is it a shared office?
Yes, it is.
A shared but empty office.
Synapse IQ. Reminds me of some live leak videos from Germany that were filmed in abandoned office buildings, later turned into murder investigations resulting in their removal. This was like 5 to 7 years before the website ceased operation. I see.
Why rent out your own entire office when you could share one with several other companies? This was even more cost-effective.
Frisco Highlands.
Hello, worksite
Okay, so we're still in the Frisco
How much
Prosper
of the
area. They
commercial
haven't gone
real
very
estate
far.
Economy is propped up by companies like these renting out units to have a worksite on paper for their H-1B employees. That
And look at
renting out
that, chat.
Much of the commercial real estate economy
Watch this, watch
is
this.
propped up by companies like these renting out units to have a worksite.
I keep missing it. Hang on.
Economy is propped up by companies like these renting out units to have a.
Look at that. So they're in an office park, and it looks like they're still building offices. So this particular office park they went to, they're still in the process of building like second, third phases, that sort of thing. So still building, and you got places like this. These ghost offices and body shops taking up space. 2 years of supplying electricity to an empty hole, that must cost a lot. I mean, when they went in, the lights were off. So That's probably saving them some money, but yeah, the longer that particular office suite stays unrented by anyone, that would be utilities that the landlord just has to eat.
Worksite on paper for their H-1B employees that are nowhere to be found.
Worksite inspection. Worksite inspection. This country is all an illusion. No one is around.
Yeah, a day or two of this, and even I would be walking away and saying, yeah, everything is fake and gay. Everything is fake and gay. And it's one of those things, Dark Perto, thank you for the follow. It's one of those things where it works until it doesn't. And until enough people realize, oh yeah, this is all a scam, this is all fake and gay, it's just going to keep going. Eventually, the everything is fake and gay mantra gains enough traction that everyone goes from buy mode to sell mode. But that's when you start talking about economies crashing on the level of 2007, 2008, big short level sorts of things.
So they should have 4 people working on site. Do we have anyone here today? No one?
Okay, so now they're at a...
So they should have 4 people working on site.
Oh, I recognize that. Chat, those of you who don't recognize this particular logo, Regis is a commercial real estate company. They have offices worldwide and office buildings that they operate. And well, sometimes it's not whole buildings. It can be just, a portion, like a few floors, for example. It's private offices and like shared conference and break room facilities. And you rent month to month. I think they have the option of long-term leases, but most of the time, the sorts of places that rent offices, it's usually like a day office, a lot of times a fly-by-night sort of company, which is not to say that these businesses on the wall are fly-by-nights. Far from it. There's plenty of legitimate businesses that use Regis offices, but it is also the sort of place that you would go to if you are a fly-by-night or an illegitimate business front, or even just a simple startup, and you just need an office for the day. You see here on the wall, you've got the Heyman Law Firm and Immigration Forms Assistance LLC, Farmers Insurance, David Combe and Associates. A lot of law firms and professional firms that want a sort of satellite office without necessarily having to be in fully staff up a satellite office. So yeah, it's a funny way of working, but it works.
Do we have anyone here today? No one?
They have 12 in the Copenhagen area alone. Yeah. Now, Regis has quite an extensive portfolio in major cities all over the world. And yeah, we see here they're being used as a front, as a place for illegitimate business fronts to operate out of, which kind of comes with the territory of these types of no-contract, short-term office leases.
So they should have 4 people working on site. Do we have anyone here today? No one? Okay. So you pay them $20 a month to get an office space in the ether, maybe a mailbox. So you have paper compliance. But where are these people working? In the digital mailbox? In the cyberspace? Where are these Indians? This country is a joke, and you're living in it, and you're paying for it. Look at this.
Yeah, that's what's most outrageous about it. A placeholder, yeah.
Move right here. We have Sapnex LLC. 3 companies are registered to this location. Looks to be a completely empty office, nothing in there. Take a look. Emptiness is all I can see. We have 4 H-1Bs.
Empty.
And guess who comes
No one's
Shand Parvathaneni, our same attorney, is the recurring thread. He's threaded into many of these companies in different locations
What's
all
the
across
name?
the DFW area. Thread. It's back. Shand Parvathaneni, our same attorney, is the recurring thread. He's threaded into many of these companies in different locations all across the DFW area.
Good. Okay, we're finding a common thread. Very good. Good luck getting him to talk to you, though. And you show up at his offices, he'll probably call the police on you.
Could it be a coincidence?
The back rooms are just H-1B businesses. Yes, indeed.
Very well could be. He could just be the guy, the attorney, the Better Call Saul of LCAs. So I called Chand Parvathaneni, an Indian immigration attorney who files LCAs and H-1B petitions on behalf of
Chand Parvathaneni, attorney at law. Looks like he has built quite the business for himself.
countless companies with ghost offices that I visited throughout this video. Could he perhaps explain what was going on here?
AVJ Solutions Incorporated. Got a shout out from Kirsha for the raid. Very rare. Yes. By the way, did you host on... Are we able to do shout outs on Kick? No. Doesn't look like it. I can show user info, but that's about it. But yes, well done, Kayodu. Unfortunately, just on the Twitch side, yeah. Kick, get on it.
But real quick, Patreon banned me for noticing too much, so now you can support.
Yeah. After that little visit he paid to Kirias Joel, I think it was New Jersey, all of a sudden lost access to his Patreon because he noticed something he wasn't supposed to be noticing. And then people who don't want, who claim that they don't have all this power and influence, then used all their power and influence to deplatform him from Patreon. Funny how that works out. How funny that works out. I think Norm Macdonald did a joke about that involving Marlon Brando years back on Saturday Night Live. I thought it was rather amusing, though I'm sure that people who don't like us noticing things didn't really appreciate that. Could probably use StreamerBot to do a raid shout-out. Do I have StreamerBot? I don't think I do. But anyways, said it before, say it again. Everybody, follow Kaoru Kanojo. Follow her on Twitch, Kick, and Rumble. Streaming on all three platforms simultaneously. If Tyler had done a documentary on unemployed white Americans claiming government assistance, it would have made YouTube's front page. It would have. And it probably would have triggered something along the lines of Waco, Ruby Ridge. Because that's just how fucked up the system is, because the ruling elites that control us, they hate white people and they want us all dead.
Our work at tylerraw.com to get access to videos we can't upload on YouTube, exclusive bonus content, and early access to all of these videos before they go up on YouTube for as low as $5 a month. Go check it out at tylerraw.com. Thanks for your support, and back to the video. I just want to ask you a few questions. I know I keep seeing your name pop up.
Sure. And like I said, I want you to ask anything and everything because this program has a problem. You want the best for this country, I want the best for this country.
Listen, we've gone
Yeah, I just don't believe you, sir. I just don't believe you.
through the LCAs. I see your name pop up, over 20,000 times from 2020 through the end of 2025. Yeah, and you're saying the burden to update all this information is on behalf of the employer to then update you, who then complies with the paperwork and gets it all handled, right? Is that?
That is correct. And number of times we see a lot of companies don't do it, which means they're not complying.
Sure.
And my responsibility is not to go, I keep on educating them, but if they don't do it, there's a site visit and the employee is not working where they're supposed to. Any non-immigrant person in this country, anybody, they have to let USCIS know where they live. It's a mandatory responsibility. The government has access to the systems. So when you talk about fraud, the fraud is not fraud that I know.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. It's not anybody's fault. It's the government's job. Holy Ball, thank you for subscribing over on YouTube. Thank you so much. I believe we've reacted to some of your AI music videos before, old chap. Well done on those.
Somebody's bench.
Please, sir, do not redeem. Sir, poofs, please.
This is where things start going haywire. The company doesn't start paying them. The employee is not working. And that is where it starts, not at the time of filing, because at the time of filing it is very easy.
Come on, Sean. Let's not be silly. But also, you could file a bunk LCA filing, right? And just put as many of those out there.
What good it would do to somebody to be obligated to say, hey, I want to pay somebody $100,000 and $30,000 in taxes? You just tell me.
I mean, let's say you get money and you get a lot of it and you don't have a moral back.
No, we don't get a lot of it. But
oh, come on. I know you're.
Oh, I don't get a lot of it. I get some of it, but I don't get a lot of it. Look at the ugly birds he surrounded himself with. Good God. These are like 2s and 3s. And how interesting that he's the only man, presumably, on this team. And the rest, they all look the part, especially with the blue hair bit here. These all look like HR Keddens. I can't be the only one that sees this chat. I can't be the only one that notices this. These mid to rather ugly white and one brown woman that he's surrounded himself with, all of them complicit in committing just civilizational self-destruction. You aren't. Yeah, I can't be the only one. I knew I wasn't. What is it with Indian men and going for the fattest women? I mean, it might be one of those things where it's just like any white woman that they can score is considered a win, considered an increase in a zat, and an increase in their social standing in their class. Holy Ball is always good for some philosophical chat in the chat box. Fantastic. Well, Holy Ball is always welcome in our chat here. Does an absolutely stand-up job with the AI music videos there. The redhead looks nice. Nah, I've seen better redheads. I see tons of it. Yeah, I can't be the only one noticing. Surrounding himself with HR Keddens, the people who are just so complicit with civilizational self-destruction, with their just high levels of mental illness and suicidal empathy. None of their clothing fits properly. No. Very poorly tailored, all of it. Please better your standards if that is nice to you. Yeah, no. Believe me, I've seen better. This one right here with the blue hair and the smug look on her face, no. Just no. Anyways, we've stared at this nightmare fuel long enough.
Killing it. That's great. I mean,
No.
USA,
No.
that's awesome.
I think it's a law firm that I thought is working, and that is where the problem is. And then the fees. The fees is one of the lowest in the industries.
Come on, I know what lawyers make. Come on. For a different perspective,
yeah. You people make a fortune. Don't try to kid a kidder.
Of one of the largest IT staffing companies on earth, Tata Consultancy. Companies.
Yeah, Tata is massive. They not only have their consultancy services, they've got industry, they make cars rather poorly. And I believe at one point, owners of, I don't know if they still are, but owners of Jaguar and Land Rover.
Like Tata built the blueprint for these rink-a-dink mom-and-pop staffing companies with ghost offices we've been visiting. But the difference is they have real offices and real H-1B Indians doing work in the places they say they are at a massive scale. What they proved to
at least
corporate America is
legitimate.
that they could outsource IT work to an Indian firm like theirs, get the job done with H-1B workers at a fraction of the cost of directly hiring Americans, and they could hold their H-1B Indian army captive due to their visa being tied to them. Ultimately, companies
mentality.
like Tata are at the forefront of the replacement of skilled American laborers in exchange for cheaper, interchangeable, and captive H-1B Indians. For example, in 2015, last job of IT workers for Disney.
They also supply some of the shittiest tea brands known to man. I wouldn't know. I don't drink tea from India, or I don't consume Indian tea brands. I prefer proper British and some American tea brands.
World Orlando.
Especially my sponsor, the Dragon's Treasure, which is fantastic. You see the link there over in the Twitch chat. Everyone, go to thedragonstreasure.com/Lord Rexworth and save 10% off your entire order. Or just use code Lord Rexworth at checkout. Again, save yourself 10%. dragonstreasure.com/Lord Rexworth.
Was to train their H-1B replacements in 90 days that had been brought over by Cognizant. If these employees didn't train their new replacements, they were not eligible for bonuses or their severance packages. In fact, big outsourcing firms like Tata rarely even bother to sponsor green cards and often just import a new wave of H-1B Indians to replace the previous one once their visa expires. I pulled up to one of these outsourcing firms' offices in Plano just to see the H-1B Indian sponsor hole in the flesh.
Hi. We're here to verify that 12 of the LCAs filed on behalf of 12 H-1B employees are on site and they have the paperwork on the wall.
Okay, let me get going.
Excuse me, do you work on behalf of Tata? Yeah. Are you H-1B? Yeah. Okay.
This place was teeming with Indians whose sole job was to replace you lazy Americans watching this video.
Hi, my name's Tyler.
Well, do you have an appointment or pre-approved?
No appointment needed. Thanks so much. What is your name? Are you the manager?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have a right to know things, right? That's the reason I'm asking you.
Sure. Have a great day.
Keep in mind, these H-1B employees are on non-immigrant work visas. They are temporary guests.
Don't shoot us, please.
Okay, no worries.
No, what is this for?
We're conducting a work site inspection. Here to verify a few things, and we'll be out of the...
Well, why are you hiding, mate? What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? You afraid you're going to be found out? Afraid you're going to be exposed for doing something you're not supposed to be doing? Are you even supposed to be in the United States, mate? Are you even supposed to be here? Are you in the country illegally? You sure are acting like a guilty person.
The office.
Okay, I won't do that.
And pursuant to 20
watch
CFR
yourself, mate.
Section 655.760, any member of the public can demand the public access file, and failure to make this information available within 1 working day is a violation. And failure 5.7.
Okay, I won't do that.
That's important, chat. Let's hear that again.
And pursuant to 20 CFR Section 655.760, any member of the public can demand the public access file, and failure to make this information available within 1 working day is a violation.
So anyone can walk in and demand that information. And they have 1 working day, usually 1 business day, to come up with it. And if they can't, it's a violation. Can you imagine if people just decided to flood the zone with all of these places that employ Indian H-1Bs and start demanding that information? You know, not protesting or anything, just showing up en masse. Everyone flooding the zone with inquiries, practically bringing the business to a grinding halt. You'd think they'd be so inclined to keep doing this sort of thing, chat? I don't think they would. I think they'd roach out. They'd be like, oh shit, they're onto us. Everyone quick, scatter. It'd be very interesting if massive crowds of people showed up and started demanding this information from these businesses, which they're legally obligated to provide the info, not even because we're necessarily interested in the info, but to send a message that we're on to you. We know what you're about. We know what you're doing here, and we're not putting up with it anymore. You can sabotage all of this, chat. If you have sufficient numbers, you can actually throw a spanner into the works. We can actually win by just being a gigantic pain in their arse.
Site inspection, we're not trying to cause any trouble.
Imagine if you came to another country on a temporary visa and started smacking people's cameras. Give me a break.
Do you work here?
Yes, I will.
Okay, what's your name? We just want to see if the LCAs that have been filed for the H-1Bs here are publicly visible to the employees here. They should be on the wall.
If you were USCIS,
Yeah.
if you're an agent, if you were government,
Yeah.
we'd absolutely let you in. You're not, so
Yeah.
we're not going to allow that.
As per 20 CFR 655, H-1B labor condition application regulations, and 8 USC 1182N, you guys need to show the paperwork.
We would, to a government agency.
No, it's not just to a government agent. You have to show it to the public.
That's not what the law says.
Okay, you can take that up with our
Sure.
immigration
We will,
office
yeah.
here in Rockville, Maryland.
Sure. You're not going to show it?
No, sir. Not
Okay. Well, thanks for popping your head out. You are not in compliance. We appreciate your time.
6010 West Spring Creek Parkway. 4 IT staffing companies.
Spring Creek Parkway. Yeah, that runs through Frisco. Runs through Frisco, Plano, a few other big suburbs there in Dallas, Fort Worth, yeah?
95 total LCAs, 38 H-1B conversions.
There is no one home. Hi. Doing good. Ever seen anyone come in here? There should be 18 people working out of here.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain if they try to cram 18 people in there, there'd be a fire code violation.
Our virtual
Yeah.
office, there's 5 of us, but we can work from home.
This doesn't even have enough room for 5 people, much less 18.
Yeah, 2, maybe. And they wouldn't be very comfortable.
Worksite inspection.
We have a building permit signage here indicating this place has been under renovation or construction since March 6, 2025, where if the employee's gone to work,
So depending on when this was filmed and released, this could have been. I mean, it looks like he's dressed for winter, maybe like the early part of spring. So, been under renovations for nearly a year.
Last year, according to what I'm seeing here, there should be 34 people working on site.
Your
What,
call has
having a
been forwarded
painting?
to the voicemail for Resource Volume Flagellate. No one is available to
Oh.
take your call.
I'm sorry, what was that again?
People working on site.
Your call has been forwarded to the voicemail for Resource Volume Flagellate. No.
That's not a name, that's just someone keyboard smashed, and then the TTS just read that out.
No one is available to take your call.
And the difference between what a real H-1B worksite should look like compared to all of these ghost offices or seemingly staged worksites was immediately apparent.
Hey, are you Siusa? Siusa Inc.? Siusa?
Yes.
How many people are on site right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Where are you from, by the way?
From Germany.
Germany, okay.
Yeah.
We do need to see those
Funny, you don't look like you're from Germany.
LCAs though, and then we're out of your hair.
Idris, I can forward this email document to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll write down. I mean, listen, hear me out. I know you have attorney-client privilege. Just be real with me, though. You meet these guys, they talk to you. How often do you think you're signing off on fraud?
0.
Now that you've
Zero.
seen some of these offices,
If I know
Of course he's going to say 0. If he were to admit to any sort of signing off on fraud, his law license would be in jeopardy. He could be disbarred for that. So of course he's going to say 0.
People have knocked on the doors, the empty offices.
lights off, no one home, 3 p.m.
The complete shell offices with ghost employees. No one can find where they work. You really think it's 0?
If you say that is there fraud that is found after the fact, yes.
There should be 3 people for Widespan LLC on site. There should be 1 person on site for Upward Innovation.
She's nervous. She's nodding her head nervous. She's like, what the hell? She did not expect this to be happening as part of her day. And she's probably one of the only honest people in this whole office.
LLC. There should be 2 people on site for NK Technolabs.
There's like hardly anybody here today.
I'll tell you what USCS does. USCS will come back and say, hey, we went to an address. This employee does not work over there. What exactly is going on? We want to revoke your H-1B. And then I go back to the employer. Hey, this is what USCS has found. Now there's a problem. Do you have...
More than just emotional damage. This is... Good Lord.
What exactly happened? Because you have to find out. Does it always mean there is fraud? No, because I'll tell you an example where it might not be fraud.
Well, why are you talking so fast, Counselor? Why are you talking so fast? You're nervous? You're nervous? Usually when people start talking fast like that, they've got something to hide. He's hiding something. He knows that old Tyler here's onto him, and so he's trying to whip up enough smoke and roach out.
A guy is working in Verizon, for example, in Dallas as a software developer, 6 months contract, and they reassign him to another project for, say, Dr. Pepper, again in Dallas. If somebody is still working, still getting paid the same salary, still in the same role, you can change the work site. That is not a material change.
You would have
so
to
when you get an
amend the
RFP, you
LCA,
talk.
right?
No, not. It is not a material change. But if it is Dallas to Dallas, it is not a material change. It's just a different work site in the same city.
UCSIS would need to verify the work site exists, the person exists, they're in the country, they're at the place they've stated they should be. How would that not be a problem?
So USCIS have rules. If it is a different metropolitan statistical area, it is a material change. Instead of working in Dallas, somebody moved to Austin, that is a material change.
UCSIS should be able to...
That's a big enough change they can't look the other way. A Sleeping Dragon Paladin, thank you for the follow.
point at and say the guy works here, right?
Oh yes, and sometimes the worksite changes. This third-party consulting, the worksite could keep changing, because
That's
in this
crazy.
case, the same LCA. Yeah, and that is a problem, and that is what I'm saying. And this is what people.
Complete lack of transparency.
And that
That's
is where,
wild to me. That's mind-blowing, actually. What Chand revealed to me is that employers have zero legal obligation to amend the LCA if the H-1B employee is working within the same metropolitan statistical area. This Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington Metroplex encompasses...
Yeah, this is... I know it looks fairly compact on a map here, chat. The scale of this, if you were to drive from, say, the far side of Fort Worth to all the way to the far side of Dallas, or from, say, one of these southern areas like Granbury or Waxahachie, all the way up towards McKinney or Denton, or even some of the smaller areas further up north, this is a massive metro area. You are talking about at least 2 hours to get from one side of this metro area to another, possibly 3 or 4 if there's traffic. That is how massive this area is. It is a long way to get just about anywhere in Dallas and also in Houston. Houston's even worse. Yeah, this is a lot of real estate to cover, and one person can hide out and roach out to multiple different locations here for this not to be some sort of mitigatable change or whatever they call it.
13 North Texas.
30 to 35 miles, according to Google, between Dallas and Fort Worth, depending on the route. Yeah. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but you have to remember that there's, God, I think there's like some 20 million people, or close to it, living in that one area. We are talking also a metropolitan division that does not have any sort of extensive public transport. Everyone drives everywhere. So you're talking at least a few hours to get from one side to the other. Possibly as many as 3 or 4 hours if you're doing it, morning or afternoon drive when you've got rush hour going on.
Counties, 9,286.
9,200 square miles. It is massive. The whole region, larger than the state of New Jersey or New Hampshire. Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, just to give you some perspective, is bigger than the entire island of Manhattan in New York. When they say everything is bigger than Texas, they mean everything is bigger than Texas. On average, adding over 100,000 residents annually. Yes, and as of late, those 100,000 residents are H-1B immigrants. It used to be that they were adding in residents from other states, people coming in from California or New York or somewhere on the east or west coast or somewhere from the Midwest. And you had a problem with people coming in from Mexico and from Central and South America. Now, it's mostly H-1Bs from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and whites are quickly becoming a minority in the state of Texas.
Square miles with more than 200 incorporated cities and towns.
Yeah.
No, an IT.
Yeah, and the ones you just saw were the ones that are big enough to stick out on a map. There's several smaller towns and, little hamlets that don't show up on a map unless you zoom in really close.
Staffing company like the ones we've seen can file an LCA listing at a ghost office in Frisco and then freely move that H-1B worker to a client site in downtown Dallas, Arlington, Fort Worth, Plano, Irving, McKinney, Denton, or any of the 200 plus cities in town.
Yeah. These Grapevine, Frisco, Denton, McKinney, Plano, these are just the ones that are big enough to show up on a map. There's other ones. Over on the east side of Dallas, there's smaller towns like Forney and Fate and Terrell that they don't show up because they're not big enough. Or further up north, Anna, little town called Anna. Or even further up north, closer to the Oklahoma border, you've got other small towns. I think, trying to remember the name of the town. It's further up north here, a small town that Dwight D. Eisenhower was actually born there. That was his historic birthplace. They even got a marker for it. 9,000 square miles compared to Cornwall in the UK at 1,376 square miles. Yeah. The whole of the British Isles could fit quite comfortably within the landmass of the state of Texas. Denmark is about just over 16,000 square miles. Yeah. So just a little over half the landmass of Denmark. And that's the Dallas-Fort Worth metropolitan area. So Denmark could quite easily fit within the landmass of Texas. Yeah, 268,000 to 269,000 square miles. Size of the United Kingdom, about 95,000 square miles, yeah. When they say everything is bigger than Texas, they're not just talking chuff. They really mean that is how big it is. It takes someone driving at the standard speed limits on the interstate, say, you know, from the farthest reaches of East Texas on I-20 or I-30, going all the way westward on I-20 towards El Paso. You are looking at maybe a day and a half to 2 days drive. And that's if you want to stop for the night, stay at a hotel somewhere, and continue on and end the next day in El Paso. Or even driving from Laredo down in the Mexican border all the way up to, say, Amarillo, up at the most northwestern corner. That's still at least a day's drive, maybe 2 days. It is a long way to cover from one side of this state to another. Mimi Key, welcome in. Hello, hello. Good to see you. How are you? Let us get a quick little shout out here for Mimi Key. Quick little shout out because our Mimi Key here just celebrated a birthday. So everyone please wish Mimi Key a happy birthday and go drop a follow. Also, quick programming note, Mimiki and I will be collabing here in the next few weeks. Going to be playing a little bit of Stardew Valley together.
And now for something completely different.
Yes. We'll move now to a man with a tape recorder up his nose. No, kidding. Thank you so much. Of course, my dear, of course. Yes, excited for Stardew. I am as well. We shall leave behind the hustle and bustle of city life and go enjoy a bit of a slower pace in the provinces. Anyways, let's keep going with the video here.
Towns across 13 counties without ever filing a new LCA or amending the H-1B petition. So, on a day-to-day basis, USCIS does not know where the employee works, the DOL doesn't know, the client is not required to report anything to anyone, and the system, by design, is blind as to where this H-1B employee actually works, allowing plenty of room for things like underpayments, misrepresented job duties, and proxy work from India going unnoticed.
The contract is what shows there is availability of work. The problem with fraud, the contract is for 6 months. Everything goes good. Then what? Is somebody on the bench? That is fraud. Is the employer not paying the employee? That is fraud. That is.
Oh, is this Nick Shirley? Tyler Oliveira. The other Nick Shirley. This is the particular video that apparently got Powder's Twitch channel suspended for a bit. We're probably going to find out if the same thing will happen to me. Don't know if it will. I'm not as big as Powder, so probably no one cares. We're going to push some limits here and see what happens. Hope you don't get hit with a hammer. Oh, I hope I don't either. But even if I do, it will just prove a point that I'm trying to make.
Where there is a big problem with H-1B, that is where all the fraud starts. And like you said, hey, this company doesn't exist now. When we call, there's no company. For example, on the day they filed, no, the company was there. Otherwise, because USCIS has their own big check, they will catch it in 1 minute if the company doesn't exist. So I don't think the fraud is at that point. The fraud, maybe 6 months, 1 year when the project is over, the company is not paying this guy this salary, and this employee is not getting paid, the guy is getting benched. That is where all the fraud starts. And now, like you said, clearly, how do you detect that fraud? In my opinion, the government has access to the databases. Click up a button.
While listening to Chand, it's clear the system,
I'm sure they do,
demands little to no real transparency and heavily relies on the employer operating in good faith. Clearly, USCIS was not inspecting all of these work sites to verify their legitimacy.
Look at these massive offices, these big open-air atriums, and any one of these suites could be used for these illegitimate purposes, as they've been finding out.
The question, where are these Indians?
I feel like I'm in a library right now.
Icon IT Solutions, here you are.
Locked.
We have 13 LCAs.
Open up, goddammit.
Okay, next. Next. Beyond.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll get them to open up. Just curse at them. Then again, I might do the same thing myself. Open up, you wankers! I'll support you over on the green site in case. Finally fixed my monitors. Problem was the cables. That'll do it. These days, you've got to watch the cables. Older ones don't tend to be as compatible with new equipment as they used to be. It's crazy what sort of microchips and everything they're putting into things like USB-Cs and HDMIs. It's madness. Reminds me of the place where them Defoe dances inside of in that one music video. On it, this sort of place, you kind of get, there's a bit more greenery, and it's, you know, it's obviously, this is more of a mid-rise, a low-level office building. You kind of get Omni Consumer Products vibes. The place sort of reminds me of like a combination of OCP headquarters from RoboCop and the Nakatomi Plaza from Die Hard, just a little bit.
Hello, is this ESK? Okay, hi, my name's Tyler.
Hey, man.
Good to meet you. What do you guys do?
There's a table tennis table over here. Well, what are we doing? Is this an office or is this an arcade?
It's a software development.
Okay, where do you guys put your LCAs, your H1Bs?
H1Bs?
Yes.
Like H1B guy?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
are you from ICE?
No. We're just doing a little video.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
H1B guys, like these guys are.
Exactly, yes. 'Cause we keep showing up to like empty offices. You're the first office we've shown up to with human life.
Yeah, you can pick out.
We can check it out?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Hi.
And this is my office.
See, I'm less inclined to think that they're running some sort of scam when he's just like, oh yeah, no, the paperwork's all over here. And oh yeah, here's my office, you know. We got a few minutes, so I can show you around, give you the tour. This is not raising suspicions. This is people with nothing to hide. So this is how you do it. You want to allay people's suspicions, you have to not act suspicious yourself. Swapped to DisplayPort, it works fine now. What happened to good old HDMI? Yeah, HDMI I think has got some limitations. You know, as far as resolution goes, DisplayPort actually is, I think, as far as PCs go, it's supposed to be the superior cable, but yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I've noticed that too. You've got more DisplayPort outlets on graphics cards than you do HDMIs, and I do notice a bit of a quality difference myself. DisplayPort seems to have higher levels of resolution versus HDMI. Like the old yellow, white, and red ones on TVs and old computer. Oh yeah, the RCA inputs, yeah. Trouble is, best you can do with that is get, if you were to break it up into RGB cables, the best you could get is like 720i. I think that was the best I could get with an old PlayStation 2. I think that was the issue. I only had one DP cable. Was using HDMI for the other, and it's 2 monitor setup now, both in the same cable type. Yeah, I had that for a while myself. One DisplayPort, one HDMI. You could tell a difference. You could definitely tell a difference. And then swapped over to dual DisplayPort. Yeah, big difference. Where are my S-Video fans at?
We don't have much H1Bs.
Yeah.
I think only three H1.
Three.
You said you know how these guys operate like a minute ago.
No. I mean, like, you know, most of them, the offices are empty.
So tell me about that. So I want to make sure we make the difference because we've knocked on a few empty offices that appear to be like shell offices, like ghost offices.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that term?
I'm familiar with the sale companies,
Okay.
but not familiar with a lot of people here because I don't talk with a lot of neighbors.
Okay, so why do some people
Okay, that's
rent
not
out the
too
offices,
unusual.
but they never actually show up, never do any work?
Maybe most of them work remotely because most
Okay.
of the IT works are remote.
Okay.
But I don't allow actually to do the remote work. I prefer my guys to be here.
Okay, thanks again.
Thank you.
Hey, enjoy the game. See you guys.
This guy brought up a good point. What happens when our H-1B prodigies are working remotely from home? I pulled up to Houston and met
Nice
up with Nick
tufted leather
Plum, a
furniture.
former Amazon L7 engineer laid off.
Okay. So now we're moving over to Houston, the other big metro area in Texas. I've noticed throughout this, the ones with Puerto English shake their heads more like those Hawaiian dashboard dancer dolls, sort of bobbing their heads. Yeah, no, they just sort of nod their head, go along with it, and just sort of hope that placates them and gets them to go away.
By Amazon, who has been speaking out against the Indianification of America. And we began our inspection of an apartment complex.
The True Texas Project. That's interesting. I need to look that up. What do you want to bet they're designated as some sort of hate movement in Texas? Oh. And what do you know? The first few Google results I get, Texas Tribune, speakers condemned Texas group's Christian nationalist event. So, must be the real deal then. Lord Rexworth looks like he's turning Japanese. What are you talking about? If I look down, the model tends to close its eyes. Or if I look away in the wrong direction or something like that and keep talking, it closes the eyes on the model. Your eyes were closed a bit when you look down. Does that for me too, yeah.
Several H-1B work sites listed as the apartments these Indians lived in. They're required to have a public access file available the moment an LCA is filed, and it must be accessible at the employer's work site within 1 day of filing. Let's see who has their paperwork in order.
Man, these apartments, they look ancient. Most of these people weren't even a glint in their grandfather's eye when these flats were built.
Hello. How are you?
I'm an office call.
Tyler. How are you?
I'm good.
Do you want to show me?
That's not an office. I'm an office call.
Okay.
Okay. We're here to review your public access files.
Got it. I'm busy. Got away.
For foreign workers. You should have your LCAs posted and your public access files available for review. Do you have those available for review?
Hi.
Hello.
Daima?
Good
to meet
Always
you,
in the
Tyler.
bare
You
feet.
work on behalf of Cognizant?
Yes, I do.
You should have a public access file for review.
What do you mean by the public access file?
But what it includes is the LCA, your labor condition application. It includes
Okay.
the prevailing wage study. Whatever your job is. If you'd like to have
Sure.
some.
Okay. So this is my work site.
What you're really seeing here is how rare USCIS compliance is, and how before remote work was common, at least you had a corporate office where the public access file could be filed and LCA notices could be posted on a wall. When the
So much of this chat that we're seeing, I firmly believe these are the consequences of this is all the consequence of the pandemic of COVID-19. When so much of this moved to remote work, nobody was looking too hard. You especially had previous administrations that they wanted both cheap labor and cheap votes. And so things like this happened. And this is how we got into the mess that we are in. Of course, it could be argued that goes even further back than that to the Hart-Celler Act. Concrete beams on the sides are wood-molded, a technique that went out of usage in most of Europe in the 1970s when better methods became widespread. Yeah, this place looks ancient. The whole complex must be at least 50 years old. And usually, you go around in certain neighborhoods in America, old apartment buildings like this, usually in pretty rundown, rough neighborhoods.
H-1B's worksite is now just this guy's apartment. All of this info becomes harder to verify and easier to fake. While the Department of Labor doesn't have enough resources for in-person audits like these, they did create a provision to allow members of the public to demand the same info. The only problem is, nobody ever does. And of course, we stumbled into this engineer vibe coding in real time. Just look at this guy's screen.
So he's just vibe coding at this point. What the hell? Another reason happy to stay here in Denmark. Yeah, bro's living in his own filth. And look at that wall, too. Looks like the children just took crayons to it and they never bothered to clean it off.
Into this engineer vibe coding in real time. Just look at this guy's screen.
Yeah, vibe coding. Just whatever he can pull from... Yeah, it looks like... what is this, ChatGPT? Yeah, ChatGPT is some sort of AI. And he's just getting the AI to code for him. Oh, Microsoft Pilot. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, now I see it. In other words, the bot is doing the coding. Yeah. He's just vibe coding at this point. He's getting everything from the AI. Probably not even really checking to see if it's good code. And cobbling all that together and just hoping and praying that it works. Says Copilot. I wouldn't be paying close attention to that. I was looking for a logo. I was looking for the ChatGPT logo.
By law, you should have it here physically ready for me.
So most of the PWD petitions I have, right?
Okay.
And whatever benefits like medical, vision.
I don't have it. I'm waiting for it. It's in the post.
Whatever that's been provided.
Check's in the mail, bruv.
As part of my LCR petitions, so I do have it.
We will be reporting that we were unable to review the public access file locally.
Yeah.
So what's your job title?
My job title is senior manager. I work for a client called Marriott Hotels.
Okay.
He works for Marriott. Got a flat screen up there. Once again, can't be bothered to peel the peel the plastic off of it, just watches the telly with all that on there. This is awful. And he's got cockroaches crawling around on one of his desks. Bro is literally brought his third world conditions with him.
Systems. They had your client secured before your arrival into the United States?
Yes.
Okay.
This is
Look at this.
Okay.
This is awful.
Client is Energy. It's an energy company. Cognizant is my employer.
Sure.
They have the right to hire, fire, everything.
Sure.
I'm reporting to my supervisor, Cognizant. I'm enjoying my medical benefits, 401k. Cognizant is giving me the stocks at the discounted to my employees.
Doing all that.
Yes, okay. Yes. I'm enrolling.
How can people really live like that? If I saw bugs, I'd call someone to get rid of them. Yeah, you call the landlord or call maintenance to have them come in and spray around, or go to the hardware store, go to the grocery store, and buy yourself a can of bug spray. This is not hard, but apparently it's too difficult for him to grasp. Maybe it's this sort of like Asmongold with the wild cockroach. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna set it free downstairs. I mean outside. Yeah, have the place fumigated. That's a sign that they're not cleaning properly. Very big difference between pet roaches and pest ones. Used to raise dubia roaches and crickets as food for your lizard. Oh, yeah. Imagine that involves a lot of hermetically sealed containers. Indian Asmongold confirmed.
Yes, I have a family. I'm using medical.
Yeah, cool.
The computer that he was working on looked. It was like a $299 HP computer.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's a proper setup. He's just plugging in second monitor to a laptop that's, bargain basement stuff. Yes, very many sealed containers, pretty much a whole Vivarian for them. Ah, I see.
We come in, we see ChatGPT up on the screen. He's not doing anything.
Microsoft Pilot.
I think the biggest myth that we have is this high-skilled immigration thing. Sure. I think it's a lie. I think most of the immigration
of course it's a lie.
Is not highly skilled.
Honestly, do these...
I think most of the immigration...
Do these people look high-skilled to you? They don't. Let's just be real. These do not look like high-skilled people. These look like highly uncivilized people from a completely and totally alien culture that do not know half the things that they claim to know, and they are taking jobs from good, hardworking, actually skilled American workers. This is insanity. And it's all just a gigantic grift. I'm higher skilled than them. I am higher skilled than them. And I know very little when it comes to anything related to IT. But I know my way around a computer and could probably get it up and running. And I could probably build a damn sight better system than what we saw with that bloke's apartment, with his cheap little $300 HP laptop and his bargain basement Lenovo flat screen monitor. Went to college for coding, art, and graphic design, can do HTML and CSS. I mean, you're one up on me. That's more than I can do, but even then, I would still say I'm probably more highly skilled than they are, and probably could learn quite a bit of that on my own, given enough time and enough learning material, or even on-the-job training, which, who's heard of that being done in quite a while, am I right? My grand's higher skilled than them. My grand's higher skilled than them, and she's dead! Little brother works tech support for Region MIDT government hospital system. You absolutely could. It's fun to do. Could teach you if you ever wanted. That sounds like fun. I may actually take you up on that, Mimiki.
That we're getting is not highly skilled.
No, it's not highly skilled.
I'd say 70% of the folks that I actually saw hired and worked around couldn't do the job. Okay. When we needed the top tier engineer, they worked in Ireland. It's like it's just easier to hire. You've got
that's really saying something. The Irish. You want highly skilled people from another country go hire the Irish. I mean, when John DeLorean was wanting to build the DeLorean DMC-12, where did he go to? He didn't go to some backwater in India for it. He didn't go to China. No, he went to Belfast. He went to Belfast, Ireland, built a factory there, and supplied jobs for at least a few years to hard-working people in Northern Ireland. And they built some damn good cars. If my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike. I always thought it was if my gran had wheels, she'd be a wagon. I guess either or, I suppose.
A network of people that are willing to relocate. If I'm sitting here in Texas, not paying taxes, I may not want to relocate to California.
Sure.
But if I'm sitting in India and I want to do anything I can in my power to get out of India, I'm willing to relocate to California, pay those taxes and the high utility bills, etc. Not classically trained in computers. I self-taught effectively, and I did that through on-the-job training.
You really can teach yourself computers. My dad did it and made a career out of it for many years.
If you're a pretty smart person, which a lot of Americans are, we're not doing things that are super complex, right? Sure. Business analytics you can learn, and especially with AI now, you don't have to have years of training learning how to write SQL. You can, hey Grok, help me understand how to join these tables, or write a query to do this. What we're not seeing is that shift away from a foreign reliance on labor into like adapting our new technology and understanding that these aren't critical skills anymore. They're not unique skills. We're not getting super geniuses.
Do you think the companies need to hire US citizens or US workers before they go about and hire somebody in H-1B?
Yes.
The current rules. Unfortunately, no. The answer is no, which is where the biggest problem is.
I see.
And that is what I want to highlight.
For every American, right? You would hope they would assess the American workforce before we start scouring overseas, right? We're seeing graduates come out of a 4-year college degree and are unable to find a job like what this guy was working.
Another
Is this guy
scam.
vastly more talented than the graduate that's coming out of college? Is it just because he already has 10 years of experience? He's the go-to hire?
I mean, our college graduates are competing with a system that is built to disadvantage them, to be honest. And
There really is.
Right? Like, I can write a job posting and I can require 10 different tech skills. One of them may be 8 years old. It's antiquated.
Sure.
But by adding this antiquated requirement onto a job posting, any recent grad is not going to have that. Now I can filter them out as a technical recruiter.
Sure. And if you're not getting algorithmic...
And yeah, so much of that is by design, because they don't want to hire local talent. They want to hire foreigners because they think they can do it for cheaper. But as we've seen, they're bringing in people and hiring them for 6-figure salaries. And then they're taking those 6-figure salaries and divvying it up amongst themselves in some sort of pyramid scheme where someone, somewhere along the line, along the down line, does the actual work. They do a poor job of it, but they do the work. And the rest of the money is just graft. It's graft and corruption. Everyone involved in this fraud should be made to pay back every penny and deported and blacklisted from entering the US. That's the stage I'm at. I would say that I am far beyond that stage, but if I got into specifics, I would start glowing like Chernobyl, and we don't want that. Don't know if it would be for the best, but I wish we lived in a more meritocratic-based nation. I wish we did too. Unfortunately, we don't live in that world anymore. Not so long as anti-white racism and hatred still exists, we will never have a meritocratic society in the West. Don't forget they send a lot of money home, so that's more money leaving the US. Yes, it's remittances that need to be taxed. It needs to be taxed beyond 100%. Basically, if anyone tries to remit that sort of money back to India, it all needs to be taken. If you want to stop this, you could tax remittances to India at 100%. And that would put a stop to a lot of this very quickly. Because why do this if you can't even get the money out of the country? It would eliminate a lot of incentives really quickly.
Filtered out of job postings on LinkedIn. You can find job postings online hiring H-1Bs only. What a racket.
Hi there. How are you? Do you know where Suite 678 might be? It might not even be in here.
It's a mailbox. It's not an actual physical.
It's a mailbox. Okay, so yeah, we're just trying to confirm.
These and see if they're actual suites.
Yes.
Yeah.
678 is the first one.
Anything that's over a 200 is not going to be here.
Okay, so 534.
No.
because they're reporting there's people working at that mailbox. Like they work inside that mailbox then. 1167.
No, these are all like literal mailboxes that I put pieces of mail in and I take packages.
324.
Anything over 200 is not going to be here.
Okay.
Yeah, and just so you're aware, they're reporting to the USCIS that there are humans working inside these mailboxes.
Well, if they can fit in a mailbox this size,
That would be quite a feat.
Sure.
Awesome.
That would also be a massive fire code violation. Well, yeah, there it is.
We have our answers. There is zero level of scrutiny at play here.
Zero.
What is our economy?
But what happens when an Indian comes here on an F1 visa to study with the hopes of getting an H1B visa and eventually a green card and
Look at
things
that.
don't go according to plan?
Not a single white student amongst the lot, or even a Southeast Asian or Hispanic or black.
Raj, why are you here in Texas? What's going on?
I just came for my my further studies, like masters. I'm from India. I'm coming from.
Why are we doing an old style photographer's darkroom with the red light? What's also funny that we're only showing back of his head.
Mumbai. Mumbai is my home country. That's why I like this country.
Do you like USA or India more?
India more, but for my further studies,
Get out.
for my
Just get out. If that's going to be their answer, if they're in the United States and it's like, which do you like more, the USA or India? And they say India, get out. Just get out. Even I have the good sense to say USA, of course. It's like, I love the land of my ancestors. Beautiful place. Wonderful people. But I'm in the USA. That's got to take first priority for me.
for my further studies, I have to come here.
And how difficult was it for you to move your whole life to the USA and come study here?
It's really challenging when I'm coming to here. It's gonna be.
Oh
a
yes,
long
I'm sure it's so
that,
challenging.
I have to do a lot of interviews, and it's gonna
Oh,
be
no.
on them if they want to give them a visa or not. It's a really big story. We have to do a lot of
so
hard work
big.
on that.
Oh,
When
so
we
much hard
came
work.
here, we don't know where we have to leave, what is going to be
Oh,
happening.
no.
Nothing. We don't
Oh,
know.
no.
And how old are you?
I'm just like 23. This is a country that we
Really? You don't sound 23. If anything, you sound like late 20s or possibly in your 30s. So, yeah, I'm going to press X to doubt on that. Mumbai is a shithole. Most of India is a shithole, Pumpman. Let's just be real. As we've been talking about ad nauseum throughout the entire video.
can just make our future. Just we can study and do hard work. If we work here, we can get a good jobs and everything. But from our heart, we are connected to our country. And there are lots of Indians. They are doing a lot of things to do to stay here
Looking for educated groom for America girl. 24 years old, NRI matrimonial.
legally.
Where do you live? Do you live with like roommates?
Yeah, I lived with my roommates before we are going to live. When I came here, it was like a really tough thing.
Yeah.
That's why in a 2-bedroom hall, we are living like 10 members.
10 people?
Yeah, to save our money.
Sure.
Yeah, it's really hard working at that time.
So how did these folks get brought here? Well, that's where I started to tie it together to what I was seeing at work. We had a major hub in Dallas. I had 2 people on my team that were hired in on H-1Bs to work in Dallas. Well, they have children, and those children get a visa called the H-4 visa. Their spouses get the H-4 visa. I don't know, maybe that like the missing point for a lot of people here is when you're on an H-4
And then they just come in like hordes and become an absolute infestation. Oh, thank you for the stretch redeem, Harold.
visa, and you go to high school in Texas and you graduate from high school in Texas, you were not an international student. So there's guardrails in place at places like UT to ensure that you don't have these massive demographic changes. Well, those guardrails fail when all of a sudden these folks are classified as residents. I find it very interesting, Tyler, that we have folks on H-1Bs acting as technical recruiters. The person doing the vetting is, they're not American. They don't have that, underlying like, for the home team, skin in the game.
Most people that come from, let's say, Mumbai, do they have plans of staying longer?
Most of our from my country, they just focus on like just we will get our degree and we will come back. But the thing is that they are not taking to go back to our country. Why? Because the thing is that in our country there are jobs, there are a lot of jobs, but what they pay, they are not satisfied with that pay.
So if everything goes your way,
So they want higher paying jobs in comparison to what they can get back in their home country. So they come over to America and they take jobs away from American workers.
Would you like to be a permanent citizen here?
Trying to do the old anchor baby. Yes, they are. It's the classic case of popping out anchor babies, and then all of a sudden, you can't get rid of them.
It's not only my dream, everyone's dreams like that, to get a green card or permanent residence in United States of America. Why? Because we already spent over 3 years here.
What do our college graduates lack? Is it tenacity and skill and intellect? Are American students?
No, it's nothing to do with that. They're just the wrong race and the wrong nationality. They're Americans. Or most of them should be. But they're not Indians and they're not H-1Bs, so corporate America's saying, yeah, fuck off, the lot of you. There are ways just severely frowned upon.
Good, Nick.
I mean, I think we're naive, I'll be honest. I think we've operated in a high-trust society for a very long time.
Trying not to make the funny painter joke, but the Indians are making it hard. Yeah, they are a very trying people.
I mean, as a father of kids, I raised them to do...
Like I said, the things that could be done to deal with them that I prefer that we employ to deal with these people, I can't really talk about them because I would glow brighter than Chernobyl.
The right thing, to work hard, to go to school, to get the good grades. And I used to tell them, if you grind, you'll be fine. Yeah. That we are a meritocracy.
And younger generations are just Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're just realizing, and even millennials like myself, were just realizing you could grind until the end of time and it won't make a lick of difference because you're always going to have to compete with people from the third world that are willing to do the job for cheaper. And the system is set up right now to where there's nothing we can do to stop that. If anything, the entire system is set up to where those in power just hate us and want us dead and gone.
I actually am doubting that. Right? I've changed my messaging to them.
Yeah. What is the messaging now?
As well, you should.
You still need to do the right thing, but you also have to understand you are competing against...
Yeah, it's exactly, Khan. It's hard to compete with modern slave labor.
In a system that is built structurally to disadvantage you.
How much money does it cost for you to come all the way from Mumbai to Houston, Texas?
To here, I already spent 35, almost $40,000.
So that's a lot of money.
40 grand.
How do most people afford?
40 grand. That is roughly what you would pay for a 4-year. I mean, a portion of that could go towards a 4-year undergraduate degree at a public university in America. Some places in Europe that would cover the entirety of your tuition. That's madness, and these people are just dropping 40K and coming over here and taking jobs from Americans. If things don't change, the failed painter is going to look like a chump when someone who is really far right gets into power. That's assuming someone from the far right can get into power. If anything, the far right has got to get out of its own way, and we've got to root out the agent saboteurs that are keeping anyone to the right of Mao Zedong from achieving power. Now, where did he pull 40 grand if the pay in India is so bad? Yeah, that's another thing. If the pay in India is really so bad, how's he getting his hand on $40,000 US? I've got to delete that one, Draco, sorry. That's over 240 or 250,000 krona. You could buy a house for that, a good house or a traditional courtyard farmhouse in the countryside with plenty of land, yeah. And he chooses to drop that on some sort of visa scheme to come over and take jobs away from Americans.
To get here.
Everyone do like that, they have some savings in our country, some savings out their fathers or something. They have some goal or something. They are struggling hard to get a degree and a job here. They are selling their homes in our country to only just to visit the United States of America. They are selling homes. They are selling their savings and everything, the gold and everything. And when they are coming here, they are not satisfied. Why? Because after all these things, the IT job market is no more. No, we are not getting good jobs and nothing like that.
Who benefits?
I don't even know if it's not even one of those things where you can blame the IT or job market. It's just There's greed and avarice. They come over here thinking it's the land of milk and honey, and they're still not satisfied. It's like nothing could satisfy a greedy heart.
It's from importing infinite labor from all over the planet.
I mean, I think there's a...
Who benefits from importing infinite labor from all over the planet?
I mean, I think there's a bunch of beneficiaries to this.
Politicians presently in power, gigantic corporations, India itself, the Indians that are actually coming over.
Who's winning right now?
Yeah, well, it's not the youth.
Sure.
It's not the American worker.
No.
It is big capital. These folks don't have freedom of movement. If they're let go, they have 60 days to find a new job, or they have to leave the country, or really what ends up happening is they just change status to a new visa.
Sure.
But they should leave the country.
If you can't get a job in IT, what's your plan?
The last option, if I will not get a job, like even I also find a girl on the dating places.
Many nice
So a marriage scam. So if all else fails and they can't get a job to get a visa, they'll just try and scam some lonely cat lady. And those types are probably dumb enough that they'll fall for it.
Indian girls?
No, not an Indian girls.
Who?
One white and one Mexican. And the white women, they are not like a greedy. Some of them like a greedy.
Oh, you sweet summer child. Oh, you sweet summer child. He has no idea. It frightens me when I hear that, considering the rate of essay in their home country and their beliefs about women. Yeah, to them, women are nothing more than playthings. And, these sorts of marriage frauds, don't be surprised if you see an uptick in domestic abuse calls involving a white woman and an Indian man. So what you're telling me, the Indians might get the hood to make a comeback. Who knows?
But everyone not is greedy. But in Mexicans, you cannot trust them.
What have you seen?
Wow. Got some brown on brown conflict there. They'll be torn to actually make that call because racism. That's true, Draco. That's true. Yeah, they might not make the call because they don't want to be called racist. Some of the Muslims that R-worded over 1,000 women in Germany one night a few years ago were from India. I can believe that. I can absolutely believe that.
They done to you?
One of my friends, sorry. So he's just thinking to what to do, and he's trying to get jobs and a lot of things. After that, all the hard working, he's not getting a job. So he find a girl. So first my friend said, "Oh, I like you. Can I get your number or something?"
Okay.
And then they went for the dates and everything. My friend, he said to their Mexican girls, "Oh, can I ask you for the favor? It's not only my favor, it's your too. Well, because you are struggling hard, so it's really good for you too. So can we do like a marriage just to fix my papers?"
Sure.
So she said, "Yeah, okay then."
Did they get married?
Yeah, they get married, and the thing is that after they're getting married, and she said, "I have some conditions, like when she's going to sign the papers, she wants like $5,000 in her first month."
I mean, can't blame a girl for trying. She was like, I know this is a scam, and if I'm going to be part of this, I'm going to get paid good for my time. I'm going to get paid good for my part. $5,000, fork it over. Otherwise, I'm calling ICE. And if I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. You have to admire the ingenuity and the tenacity here, the cleverness. Sorry, trying to word comments in a way that won't get you in trouble. I understand, yeah. Hide your power level.
Like, well, let's look at Amazon, right? They laid off 16,000 people January 28th, 15,000 in October. I am sure those were not only Americans. In fact, I know of at least one that wasn't an American. Now, the difference between her and I is I'm sitting here, right? I'm not worried about being deported. My visa's not going to get lapsed. And these folks, I mean,
he's a U.S. citizen. He's not going anywhere.
5-year notes. Their entire family will be uprooted. They may even have a kid here that's now an American by birthright citizenship. When someone has that much to lose, you can really compel them to do anything you want.
Then you see them giving up everything in order to fulfill this dream or get their kids from this status of being lower or middle class to upper middle class and beyond. They may sell the family farm for all that, right?
Back home, their families are becoming
Going all
millionaires,
in.
so to speak.
Oh yeah, multimillionaires, right? They're wealthy. And so I think we just sort of, we created that gold rush.
And this is
all that money made from just basically running one gigantic scam on the American economy.
a torta. Oh, shit.
Gold rush.
And this is a torta. Oh, shit. Okay.
And after that, she is telling that this is my first thing, this is my first condition, and now listen my second condition. Every month you have to pay me like on the payments, like every month $1,000. After that, in a
$5,000 plus $1,000 a month. This is, I mean, when you've got someone by the short and curlies like that, this bird knows what she's doing. And she knows she has someone by the short and curlies, and she knows they can cough up the cash. They know. She knows what's up. I mean, it's absolute scummy behavior on the part of the girl, but I also have to, in a way, admire her cleverness, but also quite indicative of Mexican, Central American, and South American people, coming from such a culture of one-upmanship and machismo like that. It's almost to be expected. This is very stereotypical behavior. But yes, as scummy as it is, I applaud her. I applaud her cleverness. The audacity is kind of admirable, but that's totally cruel to do. Yes, no, make no mistake, that incredibly cruel what she's doing to the poor chap. But you also have to admire it. On the other hand, it's like, girl's going to get paid, and she's going to get taken care of.
additional to, you have to pay some of my rent, some of my bills.
So it's like a real marriage now.
Yeah, but she don't want to sleep with my friend.
She doesn't want to have sex.
Yeah, no, she don't want anything.
Oh, no. Sex? Are you kidding? No. That's not happening. Not with those two. No. That's a marriage of convenience. And, you know, the procreative bit, having children is just, that's, no. That's just for the girl to extract more out of the man. Might have to pour a glass of whiskey and lurk, fair play to the woman if she's still single. I don't know.
Just wants the money.
Just want money. Even my friend, after they got married, at the time he already.
At least she owns the fact she's a gold digger.
After she receiving $5,000, she's like disappear. She's
of
not
course,
responding, she's not
of
receiving the
course.
calls and everything. She's just ignoring him. When she needs the money, when she gets a time for her payments, she's calling me. Oh, where are you? He asks for the money. Where is my payment?
Yeah, where's my money? Where's my money, bruv?
For this month, I'm doing your work from last 2 days and you're not paying for me. When she got her money for the payments, for the first payment month, then she
disappeared again?
She did the same thing.
She'll come back the next month for more money.
Just
and
ran off.
This friend, this isn't about you.
She got her.
The thing.
You're not the friend.
Wait.
This isn't about you.
It's like, is this a confession? Is this a confession? Are you the poor sap that's having to pay the protection money to her? Are you helping her get that bag? She left and took off, yeah. Reminds me of Nasser Kader, a Muslim businessman decided back in the early 2000s to join a right-wing political party, later transferring to Conservative Folk Party. I'm sure there's more to the story there.
You're not the friend, right?
I'm the person.
You.
Yeah.
Knew it. The moment he asked the question, there's too many details in the story that it's like, yeah, he's the poor sap. He's the poor sap. He got cooked. Got played by a Latina. I mean, I don't know, mate. Have you seen some Latinas? There's something about some Latinas that will short circuit all of your good sense. There's just something about some of them. Not even God himself would get me to admit that. He's an independent now, has been under police protection since he started the Muslim reform movement. Yeah, if there's one thing Muslims don't really like, it's reform. Except for the Reform Party in the UK, they seem to be staffing up with a lot of those.
You are?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. This happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
Poor chap.
I did a lot
You almost feel bad for him. Almost.
hard work, like 8 to 9 months to get that money, and the bitch she took in 2 months.
The bitch!
How is it being an Indian in 2026 here in Texas?
Oh, here they are thinking like they are saying us like they are thinking, oh, Indians, you are Indians, you are not our category. You just be aside. One homeless came to my store. And he's telling me, like, he's asking me, oh, can I get the lighter? I said, okay, you have to pay for that lighter. So he's telling me like, this is my country. I'm just fed up with this.
Yeah, even the homeless don't like them. It's like, you have seriously cocked up if even the homeless don't like you. And even they are saying, hey, this is my country, bruv. Who the hell are you? Man, you have really cocked it up if even the homeless are spitting on you like that. That's bad. That is really bad. And it's only going to get worse, chat. It's only going to get worse. These people are going to find, as time goes on, that they are really not welcome here. If it's already like this, you already know they've overstayed their welcome. It's just going to get worse. He got into a series of scandals in the past, one which comes to mind when he accidentally posted some, sexy selfies to social media with him being publicly viewable. It made national news. Oh, that's a bit of a scandal, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah, from only just from 2 months, what I say.
She ruined the whole experience.
All the things, all the dreams.
Yeah.
I once talked to a guy, 27 years in the United States, not a citizen. And I'm not saying they should be citizens.
27 years. You've had nearly 30 years to become a citizen. It's like at some point, at least apply for some sort of permanent residency. It's like, you've been here that long. It's time to start looking at citizenship or some sort of long-term residency program. It's time to start settling in, mate. And you can't even be bothered to do that. Yeah, at that point, go back. You have to go back. The host country has been patient with you long enough. Naturally, you received death threats from a bunch of Muslim groups, including imams he was previously working with to promote Islam in Denmark. Yeah, of course. That had been discovered he had a small harem of 5 women he had sexual relationships with. It was a fairly common type of scandal for Muslim public figures and businessmen here. Oh, I'm sure it's that way with a lot of them, yeah.
Be real clear. I think they should have departed after 3 years, period.
Yeah.
But they've been here,
Go home.
bound to their employer. That's a shit system. It doesn't benefit anybody.
It's
and then
total
we have to
shit.
think about the problems that it gives to their kids. You know, they come over here with their kid. Their kid can stay on the H4 until they're 21. They age out of the system. Now, maybe they have to move back to India where they don't have any family. There's no angle that you can take that says this H-1B is good unless you are big capital.
Yeah.
There's not.
GDP goes up.
GDP goes up.
Yeah, and that's all anyone in big business and in government cared about is big line go up, money printer go burr, no problem here. Meanwhile, the rest of us are suffering. They don't want to integrate and we should deport them for that alone. Yes, we really should. They don't belong here. They have to go back.
Today that there is 104 million people that are not employed or seeking employment in the United States right now.
That is roughly a third of the country. That is roughly a third of the American population. When someone submits a resume today, they have an abysmally low 0.4% chance of actually getting the job. That is a colossally broken system that needs to be torn down and we need to start over again. And the people responsible for perpetuating that sort of system belong in prison. In any other time period, we would have violence in the streets and civil unrest, and whole governments would be toppled over this. And yet everyone in America just goes about the business as though this is somehow supposed to be normal. We need to make ghost postings illegal. I hate the whole we're hiring, actually we aren't. Yes, absolutely. Ghost job postings, those need to be made illegal. And the people who put them up need to be prosecuted for fraud.
How hard can it be?
Well, actually, it's quite hard, apparently. I mean, it's not hard per se in theory. It just takes the political will to do things. And right now, that political will is non-existent. But yes, ghost postings need to be illegal. The people putting them up, they need to do prison time, like hard labor, chipping big rocks into little rocks, that sort of thing. The non-Commonwealth realm member states should be made into colonies again for an Anglosphere Kanzuk Empire in partnership with the USA. At this point, that would be preferable. Yes, go back to actual colonies. Let's make colonization great again. 0-hour contracts should be illegal. Yes. You do a work contract, you actually have to put in some work hours for it.
It's a lot of people.
Like, are we in too deep?
We probably are.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the depressing thing.
I think we need to pause all H-1Bs.
Moratorium.
You have to look at illegal...
Moratorium, and those that are over here on H-1Bs, they all have to go back. Clean them out. Send them home. Detain, deport. I'd be worried about being colonies again, considering the state of the monarchy. Yeah, not really dependent upon any sort of monarchy itself, because yes, you're right, Mimi. The monarchy, especially in the nation formerly known as the United Kingdom. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. And most monarchies are just shells of their former selves, hollowed out by globalists and by the 2 world wars. They're all a joke now. Like, at least bring in a bunch of Sikhs to do police work and fill the MP and military roles made sense when they were part of the empire. Perhaps so, but even then, if the Sikhs were seen in today's society any sort of indicator, we can't even depend on those. I mean, that truck driver who tried to make an illegal U-turn that killed a family in a minivan in Florida, they were Sikh, if I remember correctly. And believe me, I see them in the transport business here in America all the time, and I'm genuinely concerned for the future of American transport.
Legal immigration versus legal immigration. Sure. And right now, I think the nation, by the mandate that was given to Trump in the House in Congress when we, was 2024, it showed that we had the appetite. We wanted mass deportations. We wanted to, end illegal immigration. But now here we are.
That's what we voted them in for.
Years into it, you hear the messaging changing away from mass deportations to only criminals. The reason I bring that up is if you don't have
because the Chamber of Commerce and big business got in his ear and said, no, you can't do that. We'll all go out of business. We need that cheap labor, otherwise it becomes too expensive for us to operate. Well, you know what? You don't need to be in business then. If that is your thinking, then you just don't need to be in business. Otherwise, bite the bullet. You blokes at the top take a pay cut and start paying your workers livable wages. And start paying those livable wages to American workers. Really that simple. I only know one Sikh person. They're the best pharmacist at my local pharmacy. Only one who actually got my Medicaid right, didn't try to overcharge me. Genuinely skilled people who want to work hard. Problem is these people ruin it for people like him. Yeah, I see Sikh lorry drivers in the transportation business all the time. And many of them are perfectly affable people, but I see some of the rigs that they drive in, and they are oftentimes just held together with duct tape, chewing gum, good vibes, and prayers. And I'm just like, no way in hell would that thing pass a roadside inspection. Wouldn't trust a Polak with a truck, let alone someone from the third world. Yeah, no. Especially in that line of business, it's like there's so few places that good, hard-working American citizens can find honest work, and they're trying to take those away, even from lorry drivers. It's just it is an absolute onslaught from every conceivable angle. You see, on Remembrance Day, the World War II soldier vet who said it wasn't worth it. Yes, I saw that. That was on, I think it was The Breakfast Show on ITV. And, yeah, he said it wasn't worth it. He looks back, he looks at the absolute state of Britain, and it's like everything he fought for, it's just, they took it away. It's all gone now. It is so sad. Those are the sorts of people that just, my heart breaks for them and I absolutely weep for them. We had it so good for so long in the Western world, and we chucked it all away. And we allowed the wrong people to chuck it away for us. And we are going to be dealing with the fallout from that for a long time. Generally neutral on immigration, definitely understand the deport them all stance. I know a lot of people who immigrated here who did assimilate and do work hard. It's sad when I think about these people ruining it for people like my stepmom who came from Poland as a kid. Yeah, it's, I don't know, the people coming from European countries tend to have a better head on the shoulders, tend to have a better go of it. Same could be said for a lot of Southeast Asians, and even to a certain extent, some people from Latin American countries. Trouble is, you've just got some segments of the world that their ways of thinking and their cultures so backwards, so alien, so incompatible, and yet they're also the ones that right now are just so cheap to hire. And so every perverse incentive exists to hire those people. There's really not an easy solution to it. And like I said, what we want is going to take, this is the sort of thing that it's not going to get solved in a fortnight. We are, like I said, we are going to be spending at least a generation or two trying to disentangle ourselves from this mess that we've made. They gave their lives for what? The country of today, the sacrifice not worth the result that it is now. That was his words, more or less, with better punctuation if it was accurately put to text, yeah. Most Southeast Asians coming to work here now are distraught with what we're letting become of our countries, yes. Ask the Japanese, as they observe what we've been doing to ourselves, and even the slightest hint of that was enough to trigger a general election, and it seems like it was all for naught now.
The appetite to handle illegal immigration correctly or authoritatively, you're not going to have the appetite to do what needs to happen to put the genie back in the bottle for the legal aspect. Yeah. Any of those guys that are simping for the Indians or the immigration lawyers, f you. This is America, this is my nation, this is my kid's inheritance, f you. The system is broken and we need to fix it.
In my exit interview, they go, hey, we're replacing you guys, we're getting rid of the whole team and we're replacing you guys with Indians. Yeah, I swear to God. I looked them dead in the eye and go, you guys know I'm Indian, right? Like, no, you don't get it. We're getting rid of you. We're moving the job to India to be done by Indians from India who live there, who will do it cheaper. And in that moment, I turned into every one of your fathers. I was like, these goddamn Indians are taking our jobs.
You can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
Yes, we do, Mr. President.
You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Mr. President. I'm sorry, but you're absolutely full of it on that one. You are absolutely full of it. Absolutely full of it. Right. That was a long one. That was a really long one. That was an hour long, and it took us quite a bit to get through that one chart. I really appreciate your patience. I see a car video from Throttle House. That looks like fun. Okay. Let's grab the link here, and I'll post that in the chat for everybody.